All right, we are live. This is the January 23rd, 2021 RPPR Patreon game. We're playing Warhammer 40K, Wrath and Glory. Today's session is called In the Discharge of Duty. And I want to go ahead, actually, with today's episode, rather than starting with the big exposition, I want to let my players go ahead and introduce themselves and their characters real quick. So first off, we've got Micah.
Correction there, Vox Officer. This is Commissar Samuel Bartlett. Make sure to not get that mistaken from the future. Otherwise, there will be issues with that. Understood, Vox Officer?
Roger, solid copy.
Good. Now, to the rest of you maggots out there, allow me to introduce myself proper. I am Commissar Samuel Bartlett. I will be the commissariat on duty. Be mindful of that. Be mindful and ever vigilant and... trust in the Emperor. That's right. Now allow me to introduce my fellow commissariat officer.
Cadet. I am Commissar Gordian Bihovecki. You may call me Sir, or Sir, yes, sir, if you will. And if you won't, well, we know what happens then, don't we? Just a little bit of a joke. Now, I expect the best out of you men. I expect you to be brave, to be courageous, to stand up for humanity in the protection of this world. And if you don't, well, you know what happens then, don't you? All right?
I do believe they all do. Which world are we on again? I lost track.
Precipice. Holy Garden World.
Oh, yeah. Vox Officer, continue with the briefing.
Well, as it were, you are all standing in formation currently. His voice bellows, Commissariat! Attention! And before you outsteps a magnificently regaled full commissar. You all know him to be Apomentius Lanewand, who has been your supervisory commissar for about the past 2 months, as you all have been processing in on planet. He steps forward and gives a very warm smile. He says, at ease, junior commissars, at ease. I would like to welcome all of you to your first command post and bestow my congratulations. You are no longer cadets. As such, you have been entrusted with the most sacred and noble of tasks, that being the tactical and spiritual supervision of the Imperial Guard. For the last 10,000 years, while we may look to the stars at the nobility of the God Emperor and his holy angels, the Adeptus Astartes, when it comes down to it, it is not the might of the holy angels, or even the magnificent light of our God, who has held back the darkness. It has been men equipped with the poorest of equipment, the lowliest of weapons, the Imperial issue lasgun. And they have been sent from world to world, snatched away from their homes, to die in their millions upon a rock that they will never even know its name of, let alone why they died upon it. They died because the Imperium asked them to die. And they have done so against the foulest of whores, the most terrifying of Xenos, and the sheer darkness of the Immaterium itself.
The what?
Yes, that's right, you heard me, son. We stand at the precipice of the darkness, of which no one but the highest of the ecclesiarchy can truly pierce the depths of. You are now to stand and stare into that darkness. And you are to do so with dignity, bravery, and conviction, because it is your job as the commissariat to lead these guardsmen into the darkest pits of hell, and to see them back out again. I expect nothing less of any of you. Now, before you are dismissed to be assigned to your billets, Marshal Tabitha Glosson has requested to speak to you as well. So do give your rapt attention to the field marshal. Commissariat, attention! And then he turns and he strides off of the pillar. At which point, a much less grandly regaled, but still no less impressive figure walks out upon the stage before all of you. It's hard to really make out her features, as a good portion of her face is covered in mechanical augmentations, which most of you correctly guess is more than likely from a long delivered battlefield wound from God knows how many campaigns back. As she steps before you, it glowers out upon the lot of you. Silence kind of stretches to the point of pure awkwardness when she says, "You will remain at attention, Commissariat. The defenders of the spiritual and tactical purity of the Imperial Guard. That's a joke, and you know it just as well as I. You all have had the privilege of the finest training and education that the Imperium could give you. And as such, since you have gotten to enjoy such a privileged life, that means you are now deigned the honor to judge these men and women, to send them to die for what cause they do not know. And if they should do so in a manner that just doesn't strike your fancy, you are allowed to take their life from them if they manage to survive this hellacious thing." I laugh at the idea that this is a noble cause. You all are here because of a bureaucracy of a fat, bloated cow that cannot possibly keep sight on every single corner, that it must feed off of every little piece. And if it can't get its little say, then it throws a temper tantrum as a spoiled child would. My deepest desire, if the God Emperor truly is a just God, is that each one of you will die choking, torn asunder, in fear and disgrace, just like each and every one of your guardsmen will sooner or later, to share their lot in life. That is the highest nobility each and every one of you should hope for. Now, soon you will be faced with my sergeants, and they will lead you to your billets, where you will be introduced to your guardsmen. I want you, each and every one of you, to study those faces. Because within a month, you won't recognize a single one of them. Because more than 70% of them will have died or been irrevocably maimed on this battlefield in the name of protecting our holy Imperium and the fine food stores that ship out from this lovely planet. Dismissed. With that, she turns and stalks off the stage.
I lean over to Gordian. Some deathcore of Kree going on right here.
No, I don't think that's deathcore. That's
I know, but seriously,
what do you call it?
I mean, already.
Okay.
I mean,
Deathcore of Kree would have been intensely cheered by a 70% casualty rate. I know, you know it.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying, like, she's talking like a deathcore Kree to a non-Krieg army. It's just like, I don't get that. Also, a lot of what she was saying is like, shouldn't she have been shot? She's basically calling the Imperium falling apart. Like, is it? It's not. We're still here.
No, she's not implying the Imperium's falling apart. She's implying the Imperium doesn't care, which...
Well, I mean, it's bureaucracy. The bureaucrats don't care. I mean, we care enough to keep the thing going.
Yeah, but 70%, maybe she's a bit under stress, 70% is
Yeah, usually
barely...
I'm told it's supposed to be 30.
The
Yeah, it's
regulations
usually
expected to be on standard, so...
I mean, yeah, the standard cash
a
rate.
bit above, to be honest.
I mean, that's just like, man, I heard that we were going to have some kind of commanders that were like bloodthirsty and mad, but damn, I didn't think we'd get it off the first bat.
Well, we'll see. We'll get a chance to talk to the men, get their impression of the whole thing.
I mean, I hope we do. They may already be dead. I mean, we might have dead soldiers to deal with. I mean, I was told that was covered in chapter 76 when we had command over a dead squad. Morale was at its best, but still.
Yes, that would be quite the quandary, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would. Where's the Vox officer?
Well,
The
the rest of your cadre continues very similar conversations as you two are sharing.
By the way, Jason, before I interrupt, sorry to interrupt again.
No, you could.
What was the name of our commissar lord?
The commissar is Appomintus Lanewand. Here, I will copy paste this into the chat for you guys. So you have
Thank you. Just to make sure I got the names right.
Yep. Yeah, you'll definitely want his name because you can.
We're supposed to say the full name.
just in case he doesn't say it. What's my name? Commissar Appomintus, sir. That's right, maggot.
Look,
full credit.
He will also accept, sir. Yes, sir.
Just making sure.
As the cadre starts to disperse, you turn to see a line of rather ostentatious guardsmen standing awaiting you. They do bear the standard Imperial Guard rank structure, signatories on their uniforms. However, that's about the only recognizable bit that most of you recognize that you all have seen before. Is they wear a rather ostentatious red greatcoat.
Damn, I was hoping you'd say green because I have a bunch of things planned for that.
With full gas mask apparatus, covered in fairly tall fur-covered adornment. Hat. That can't be a helmet, surely. But yeah, the sergeants begin to move amongst you. Asking for this commissar and that commissar until you each are greeted. So Bartlett, you were greeted by Sergeant Gretsch. She promptly salutes you once identifying you. Says, "Sir, I am Sergeant Gretsch. I have been sent to escort you to Squad 13.
Very good, Sergeant Gretz. Lead the way.
Yes, sir. She about faces and smartly leads you off. Commissar Bovecki, you are greeted by Sergeant Nagelholt, who also promptly snaps a salute to you. Sir.
Sergeant.
We're going to Squad 27, sir.
Squad 27 it is. Take me there.
He about faces, but as you follow him, Bovecki, you do notice his stride is much less of what you'd call a locked-in soldier. More of a casual. He glances back to you a few times as if he's wanting to say something, but then thinks better of it.
Good.
But yes, gentlemen, I need you each to give me a single D6 roll.
Of our liking, or
if you don't want
die.
to,
Is it
you
just
can use
a die?
dice.
Or...
Yeah, just a D6. Yeah, give me a single D6 roll.
A single.
Yep, just a single D6 roll. Yep.
Oh, I forgot. Hang on.
Well, that's a 6. Either good or bad, depending.
I'm in the wrong chat for that. Yeah. Oh, by the way, did you post the names for the commissar in the game chat, or is it the?
That is in StreamYard. It's in StreamYard.
Huh, it's not. Oh, there it is. There it is. I was in. It was in private chats and comments.
Oh, okay.
There it is.
All right. I'll use private chat as well from now on. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine as long as I got it.
Okay. Cool. All right. Very good then. So yes, Commissar Bartlett, as you move into your billeting, you see your squad arrayed before you, about 40 some odd cots. Sergeant Gretsch bellows, "Attention on deck!" And immediately, Imperial Guards just snap up, locked-bodied. Your squad is presented for inspection, sir.
I will proceed in. I'll investigate the guardsman, so I'll do an investigate roll.
Yep. Give me an investigate roll.
Oh!
All right.
I see it all!
First glory point of the game for you two. Remember, glory points, glory dice can be added to rolls. Just they're fungible, so just make sure you're, talking. Yeah, I mean, there's just a pair of you since we didn't get too much of a crew for today. But yeah, just discuss amongst yourselves. You can use as many of them as you want in a roll, but once you use them, they're gone until you earn them again with 6s on the wrath dice.
We
You
also
also
have wrath points too.
you do have wrath points, and those are explained on your character sheets. But that's your big ones that don't really come back. So
Yeah,
you want
those, so.
you want to save
So,
those for big ones.
So we had how much glory again? 2, 3?
You're at 1 currently.
1. Okay, just
Yeah,
make
you
sure.
started 0. Yeah, this is the first roll of
Cool.
the game. So yeah, you've earned your first one.
Okay.
So yeah,
Anyway,
Commissar Bartlett, you see very quickly, this is greenwood, the finest wet saplings you ever did see. Half of the men, barely, are baby faced, clean. They don't need to be clean shaven because they barely started sprouting whiskers. The girls, look like they barely stopped playing with dolls as you walk past them. They are fresh.
I will, as I introduce myself as their new commissar, I will attempt to gain their trust with a leadership role to show that my long tenure within the commissariat has made me into a hardened warrior, that I have spent time away from the field, and it has turned me into the officer before them, that they themselves are about to face their trial by fire. What they've gone through has been nothing to what faces them and what will face them for their long career. But with their fullest faith in the Emperor, with their fullest belief in their squad, themselves, and in me, we will all carry the day. If they are lacking, though, the Emperor's light, sadly, will not show. And the forgiveness may be found, though. But that day does not yet come. Today is a bright day. It will be for a long time, so long as they have faith. And
Okay. Yeah, I'd say with 4, yeah, they totally buy it. Yeah, they're locked in on you. Yeah.
Externally, it's that hard-faced grin, but inside, Caiaphas Cain. I'm seriously going to try to do my best to present myself as Gaunt, but I am so Caiaphas Cain this as hard as I can.
Wonderful. Commissar Buhavecki, Sergeant Niggle leads you into a squad bay as well. Your squad bay looks a lot different. You see about as many racks, maybe slightly less. It's kind of hard to tell, as quite a few of the racks have ponchos or curtains, even, hung up to create individual spaces. The walls of the barracks are covered in, contraband, we'll say, of the most embarrassing kinds. Sergeant Nagelhood says, "Look alive, scrubs! New commissar's on deck!" Slowly, your guardsmen start to step forward and stand at some resemblance of attention, but most of them are looking down at you out of curiosity. You may also give me an investigation roll if you wish to suss out what would hopefully be quite unsubtle about them, but...
I'll rather do an insight roll to discover who the largest, shall we say, least inspired guardsmen are.
All right.
Let's see, that's
8
D6.
Yeah. Yep.
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yep.
Does the ones pull away, or?
Yeah. So again, with the first dice, you're only looking for ones on that first dice to get you in trouble. Otherwise, doesn't really matter about them ones after that. But with 5 successes, you definitely spot the clown of the crew very quickly. She's kind of in the back, kind of not even really trying to hide that she's talking to her rackmate about you.
All right. As my authority, can I get them out on the training grounds to do something? I'm not sure how long it'll take before we're into action. But can I use her as an excuse to, now you're doing exercises because of this
outstanding, outstanding. Give me a leadership roll.
Could also be cunning, couldn't it?
Cunning is more to get yourself stuff.
Oh, I'll do leadership.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
4, 6, 8, 11. Yeah.
Yeah. You've got them out on the training grounds. How are you lighting up Corporal Bowman?
Bowman?
Bowman.
Yep. Let us all thank Corporal Bowman for inspiring this much-needed exercise today.
I assume you do it with that big of a leadership role. You do it like one-handed push-ups and stuff, just kind of fucking with them at this point. They are oddly enough keeping up with you, but the shit talking flying at Bowman is just overwhelming. You really have to boom to get yourself heard as the thanks start. You guys, as you switch to burpees, there's a lot of dirt and rocks that's flying, and it's flying in a very particular direction against the wind. You notice.
I don't notice anything. In fact. I have my back turned as I perform more illustrative exercises on how to keep it in shape.
Outstanding. Well, so that's how things proceed for about a week and a half or so for you guys as you continue to get to know your people.
I'd like to think that it's every time I'm talking with them during training, getting to know them and such, I just hear, "Thank you! Thank you!" Just, what is going on over there? What is Gordian doing? I'm just thinking in my head.
What did this Corporal Bowman do?
What did Corporal Bowman do? Then here again. Thank you, Roderick. What did Roderick do?
Yep.
It's like, just my guys are cleaning their guns.
Joe, Miss Look, Yerger. Yeah, it's a new name every fucking time.
Yeah, just like, what the hell? It's just like, my guys are doing just fine. What's he doing over there? Huh,
There's a couple that rotate in and out.
Huh. Wow, he's getting such morale with the troops. They're all thanking each other. That's great. He always had he was always curious about that. I'm glad he's doing great.
You failed inside cast, didn't you?
As because my guys can't see him. It's just like, you see that, man? That is, true companionship. That is the kind of light and togetherness of a squad that will get you. Thank you, Waldrick. See, they're congratulating everybody as they train. We will incorporate such a thing. Yada yada yada.
Gretch spends a lot of her time tilting her head down to hide her facial her facial expressions.
That's fine. I know, but I will be spending more time.
That she's kind of approving of this.
As I turn myself away from the troops, and so only Gretch can see it, just like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck is going on?
If I'm recognizing most of those names, that would be Squad 27, sir.
Sorry. That was me going, God, Emperor, what is that noise? It's like, are you telling me though? Is that like the Rap Shackle ones? Are they literally like, what are they doing? What's their reputation like? I'm gonna assume they don't give a about proper chain of command and talking and such, because otherwise, he wouldn't be telling them to say thank you unless he's physically training them harsh. I'm guessing that's what they're doing.
Be a good guess.
Yeah, probably. Okay.
But anyways, a week and a half of this goes by, and then orders come down. Your lieutenants come in and brief you all that a segment of the traitors' army has been pressing forward in an attempt to destroy a massed hydroponic farm of sorts.
Now, a question.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a full-on heretical traitor army, or is this a planetary revolution, quote-unquote, that are heretics that we are stopping from happening, or is this like full traitor guardsmen sort of thing?
From what you've been briefed on, the planetary government of Persephone basically tried to secede. They didn't like the tithing and the lack of backflow of taxes coming in. That's what you've been told. So yeah. So what you're facing off against will be mostly PDF level, though they do have some guard equivalency units, but they're making up for their lack of numbers with ad hoc units, and unfortunately, due to the nature of this agri world, their populace actually was fairly well armed as far as like a civilian populace goes. Vis-a-vis, they have like slug guns and auto guns and even stubbers in amongst the civilian populace. So like they have weapons. You're not fighting people with pitchforks and
they have actual weapons
and stuff. Yeah,
they have
guns. But again, as far as las guns and stuff go, that's very rare that you're encountering that level of threat. Emplaced weaponry, again, very minimal. Heavy stubbers and the like. Maybe occasionally storm bolters or las cannons, but yeah, nothing too crazy for a guard force to be standing off against. So
to me, Zamiel and the mess hall are going like, but it's PDF. How do you achieve a 70% casualty rate with PDF?
This is between him and me. It's just like, well, the only way I could think about it is that command doesn't know about the hidden explosives that they've created, that sort of thing. Because we don't know what these fuckers are mining out here. We're just told it's food stock. For all we know, the food, literally, the stuff we're eating, if not prepared right, could literally be napalm. I don't know.
I mean, I think the solution, or rather the question, lies in why was the populace so well armed to begin with? Is it the local wildlife that's eating all of our troops?
I mean, for them, maybe. I mean, we'd have to ask and research that one. We really should, truth be told, for us, if we're going out into that thing, see if we can actually get that information from some of the lieutenants, because there would have to be some of them would know. I mean, if our commanders aren't giving us some stuff, maybe we can try and do what they told us in Chapter 13. When information not given, use local resources.
Chapter 15, never admit you don't know stuff.
Yeah, see, that's okay. That's fair. That's fair. Thank you for reminding me of Chapter 15. I forgot. So, well, no, I didn't. See, now it came back to me. Chapter 15. Yes, and I fully remember Chapter 15 now. But we still need to
be careful if you're asking. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah. No. We have to do it on the low and make the guardsmen do it. We get the guardsmen to do our work for us. That's how command stuff works, right? We don't do it. They do.
On occasion, yes.
No. Still, Chapter 13, Chapter 15, right? Mm.
All right. So, how are you going to go about snookering a guardsman into fucking try? Or are you just going to try and tap into the Lance Corporal underground?
Lance Corporal. Who would this be in that case?
That's an old military thing from.
Yeah, it's basically we tap.
Basically, you're going to go down to the junior enlisted, and like junior enlisted tend to know things before most officers do, just from the rumor mills. Private Schmuckatelli was mopping out the command center and overheard the Vox call, and then he told his buddy friggin'.
Okay.
So I'm gonna.
And so on and so forth.
I'm actually.
Would this be something cunning would apply to?
No, this would be like an insight or a
Persuasion.
Persuasion, yep.
Oh, thank God.
Insight or persuasion would be good.
I was about to say, I'm glad I'm playing this Caiaphas Kane because I don't have insights, so it's all gonna be persuasion and such. It's like, well, fuck, let's do this.
I gave you guys a nice variety of from the good little student to the jock, worth of commissars to pick. So
hey, I just picked a character.
You're back the student, or
I knew what I was going with from the get go. I didn't matter who I had. Well, I kind of did.
I think I had Buvecki as kind of the
face.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of the top of the class type of guy, but like you said, the face. Did all the right extracurriculars and whatnot. Looks good in a uniform. Bartlett, you're the jock.
I am.
Yeah.
Yep.
Why do you think he's got true grit as his specialty?
Fair enough. I'm just picked again. For me,
being fit and in shape is important for the battlefield. You probably got higher survival chances than I do.
Again, I think that's why I think it's Caiaphas K works well for this guy because it's all the promotional covers for all his books. It's like Burling ripped with a chainsaw, charging and stuff. Just like, no, he's not. He's not even that. But anywho, I'll go with the persuasion option of trying.
Try and buddy up with
Just don't let the whole 70% casualty rate come out, okay?
No, of course, no.
Private Hochard. He's been a good little boy. Like, you've been paying him lots of proper attention for a good soldier, who's keeps his rack squared away, does his drills well. Yeah, that's a good lad. We'll see what you get with him.
And it's a 6 for the roll. Let's see here.
Uh-oh.
Wait a minute. There we go. Hey!
Yeah, with 6 successes? Yeah. So what exactly which you guys were discussing quite a bit of different pieces of information you were wanting to. So what exactly were you wanting to get out of Hochard?
So the thing I want to get out of Hochard is that me and let's see here. We want to get a better know for the lay of the land and a little bit more knowledgeable information about the planets that may have unfortunately slipped through the briefing, because there are times that the local sources might have something that won't appear until later, but we want to make sure that we're fully aware before going to battle. So if the question would be, what is String, do you think we should just go with the natural, like we were talking about? Like, what is the main thing that the agri-world's been doing and like the local resources for it? Or should it be more like some of the populace's armaments?
Populace's armaments. Why
Populace.
were they
Okay.
so armed to begin with? Because I think that answers our
Okay.
casualty rate question, or possibly might. If it doesn't, at least we know more. Anyway.
So then my persuasion would go. It is an interesting fact, Private Hoshar, that most agri-worlds are well defended by a proper PDF, yet I have heard that the populace here is itself armed and regularly defended by small parts of a militia, from my understanding.
Yes, sir. They are. Well, you see, sir, this world's soil is hypernutrient rich, which, of course, is as you would know, is why they turned it into an agri world. However, it's so hypernutrient rich due to local wildlife, festworms, sir. They're very predatory creatures. Tend to pop up out of the ground very unexpectedly. Latch onto local wild livestock, or even some of them are big enough to, they'll take children, but some of them are even big enough to threaten adults. So there's no predictability for the behavior. So there's no way to properly set out pickets from the PDF. So the governor just allowed them to take up arms as long as they were below PDF standard.
A fair and understandable choice. I can understand that, but a fair reason for the super. No. Thank you, Hoshar. I greatly appreciate this insight. I give him a salute and inform him that if he is willing, there shall be a additional nutrient ration for him, and he should consider sharing that with those he respects.
Of course, sir. Thank you, sir. He returns his salute. So, oh
my God, we're gonna get eaten by giant worms. Oh my God. Oh God, no.
Cut to the mess hall again, and me passing in on his back. No, Dirk, look. Surely there must be some way to avoid getting ambushed by giant worms.
They eat kids. They eat children. They're gonna latch onto my skin. Oh God! I heard about leeches. I thought that was bad, sucking away my internal organs over time. This thing will do it all at one go.
One day we'll be stationed at a death world, and you will die of fear alone if you keep this up.
I mean, it'd be a lot safer than this place. Actually, no. Now that you think about it, death worlds are even worse. You're right. You're right. I'll have to suck this up.
Just keep it in perspective.
Yeah. You got a point.
Yeah, it's only one type of local wildlife that tries to eat you on this world.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, everything.
That's pretty name by all standards.
Again, agri-world. You're right. Death world. Death world. It's everything's trying to kill you between the air, the plants, the animals, and your fellows. Here, it's just a worm.
And our fellows.
That's true. Yeah.
So yes, you all are summed up as your regiment is being punched out as the first wave to sweep through what is known as the Yellow Sea. These plots of land where these mineral-rich plots of land where they grow are tens of thousands of kilometers in scope. As far as almost from curvature to curvature, nearly you'll see you could go without seeing trees or structures other than grain silos and agri harvesters. But as such, if a fire is lit upon this, it will be nigh impossible to put it out before the vast majority of the resources are destroyed. So as such, you are all being dispatched into the Yellow Sea to locate and engage the pockets of resistance that the traders have set in, and to, if possible, disarm and defuse any potential destructive devices, fire bombs, whatever it is they are trying to do to sabotage the produce.
And we will have men who are carrying las rifles to do this?
You have las rifles, but you are not authorized to take flamers in with you. So your special weapon men need to be rearmed. So that would be the cunning roll there, Bulubeki. If you want to try and get your special weapons troopers something a lot nicer than just stuffing them with las guns.
I would like to have some weapons who don't necessarily inflame the local area.
Yeah.
Las guns are kind of flammable weapons.
Only when you apply them within at least 20 shots to the same spot.
Exactly. Just keep your guardsmen in standard fire pattern, Zenith 2, and it will be fine.
Yeah, but my special weapon man could still use something heavier.
Sure. So yeah, you get a cunning roll for that.
May I also take part?
You may, of course.
Thank you.
Fucking hell, 9 cunning. I didn't realize I gave him that much.
I've got 7, so I'm still thankful for that.
Nice, very nice.
I'm gonna keep that wrath ready just in case. Let's see here. All right, hey, not bad.
Editing doesn't work. Sorry.
It's all good, man. With 4 successes. Holy shit.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Right. So yeah, Bartlett. Best you could do for your heavy weapon man is to get him. No. Heavy stubber.
That's not bad.
It's not bad. It's not great.
It's better than what the burning everything alive was.
Oh, exactly. With a flamer. Becky, I don't know who the fuck you know in supply, but what do you want to give your heavy weapon man? That's what is that? 8 successes? Yeah, you can have 9. Yeah.
Oh, the choice paralysis. I need a weapon that isn't flammable, so melter
autocannon.
or heavy
Autocannon. This is your heavy team, so autocannon, dude.
Yes.
Have an anti-tank rifle on hand just in case.
Yeah, it's not a problem.
It's a particularly big worm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Your special weapons team now has an autocannon, and
they are crow as fuck.
Oh yes, they are. As a matter of fact, Buveki, as you watch, as you decide to put through some drills just to make sure, because again, you've kind of gotten a sense of your guardsmen over the last week. You are stunned to watch them perform a perfect dissonance drill and gunline drill with the autocannon. I mean, they use more profanity than you heard on that one shore leave on Sequentia, but no, that was better than textbook. The textbook doesn't understand the natural native ability of humidity that flaws up the feed mechanism. They do. They knew exactly what to do. They were already doing it.
It's not in the book, but they still did it. I don't know who trained them, but it's not the regular crew.
So yeah, you got that going for you. So cue to you all moving en masse in full line abreast formation, squad by squad, advancing into a fucking cornfield. Literally 10,000 square kilometers of super corn.
Yep. The average lifespan on certain agri worlds is only 40 years as well. So there's a reason for it. Working your ass off 16 hours a day.
Yep.
You get 4 hours of sleep, 4 hours, maybe 6 or so, but you're working every day before sun up and after sundown.
Visibility is not great. As the due to the nature of both the soil and the enhanced seed utilized by the Imperium on an agri-world, the corn is nearly 10 feet high. So aerial reconnaissance, pretty much out. Marauder Bombers, or what is the U2 variant of the Marauder? I can't remember its name. Yeah, no, not the Valkyrie transport. There's like a literal U2 version of the Marauder Bomber.
Oh, okay.
Which it's one of the rarest aircraft in the Imperium. Somehow Marshal Glarson has them, but fucking worthless at this point. Yeah, like she can't use them. Like they don't do any
No
damn
wonder
good.
she's a bitter wreck of a human being. She's got toys and she can't use them.
So yeah, you're
Yeah.
doing it the good old fashioned way. You're fucking humping with bayonets fixed through the shit. So, yeah, you guys can both give me awareness checks if you want. This isn't your first combat patrol. You went through the cadet program. You've been in combat, but this is your first time out. Full smock, commissar cap aloft, chainsword in hand.
Oh, dear.
no! Well, it's still successful.
Wonderful.
Bad.
Wonderful.
Hey!
better. We are up to 2 glory dice.
Marking that.
So, Bovecki, you see movement. Unfortunately, that movement is behind the line.
All right, I'll cry that out. Movement! Movement behind the line! Behind us! Turn around! Turn around!
However, Bartlett, from your position, you could see that up ahead of you, there's appears to be 3 or 4 figures hunched down over something that they're working in the ground. So you can give some type of reaction with your squad to attempt to stop what's about to happen. Unfortunately, Buvecki bought it, and he just about faced his crew basically to now be bridging their guns at your secondary line. At what he truly genuinely believes to have been some type of a flanking attack.
Right. I drop to a knee, pulling out my bolt pistol, and shout, "Guns, guns, guns! Frontline fire!"
All right, leadership roll.
Double check my leadership of 8. Cool. 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's not going to be good enough. As your guardsmen get online and begin to fire.
Yep.
Are you going to spend a glory?
We've got 2 glories, so I will spend 1. If it doesn't meet a success, I will spend a wrath point to reroll.
Okay.
If it doesn't succeed.
All right. 1d6. Let's see what happens.
Oh.
Nope.
All right. So mark 1 off of
that
that. We're down to 1. Yeah, I'm going to spend a wrath point. So
all right, you do get to reroll the glory dice as well. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rerolls.
6 rerolls. 1, 2. Okay, so 6 rerolls.
Not great, but it is enough to get you over the top.
Cool.
Yeah, your guardsmen snap in line and begin to open fire, driving off the figures. You watch 2 of them drop, but the third does manage to get away. As you move up closer, you guys can give an investigation check if you wish. Whichever of you has it.
I have a 6.
Okay.
Oh, I don't have it, I think.
Okay. All right. Then, yeah, go ahead, Bartlett.
I will, since this is my squad, I will call for, this because we knew we were going into working with explosives. I should have a demo officer here, correct?
You do not have an officer, but you do have a specialist, yes.
All right, I will call the specialist up.
All right.
Private Chitterbox, up front! Or Chitter, there we go, Chitter.
Yep. A man about as wide as he is tall hustles up to you.
Hey!
Fucking hell. Yeah, so as you begin to dig it out, it's some sort of well, it's clearly a tool of some type. As Chitterbox is, looking at it, he's like, not seeing anything that appears to be explosive, sir. He begins to maneuver it, and then you hear grinding, and the movement that Buvecki saw starts to slurp back all the way under the line of guardsmen and back up to your position. And there you see the explosive. So ostensibly what this is a tool they developed for dealing with the worms. Ostensibly, if they would discover a burrow, they would plant this thing, punch it as deep as it go until it hit something, and then detonate it. The bomb on this, normally that's just a simple shape charge, just to smoke the worm. This is way more nefarious. This thing is full of promethium and high explosive. So basically, it was a napalm bomb, like to detonate in amongst your lines, and
we would have had to deal with a sudden fire in our midst.
Yep. Split the regiment in half with that raging fire. Yep. So,
all right. Turn. Give a shout over to the sergeant to call forth the Vox officer to radio back this news.
And tell people to keep a watch, because if they were going to attack us while we were split up, they still have troops nearby. Unless they're already escaping.
Commissar Bufecki, sir.
Yes.
Vox says, command says that they've got movement from overhead. Something big is moving through the grass, sir.
All right.
Command wants the squad to proceed forward.
We will. This tool, can it be used by us? If we swap out the charge with something more,
that would be a tech check to see if y'all could figure it out. If y'all could suss out how to run it. Yeah.
It would have to be one of the specialists.
Yeah, I got nothing in tech.
All right. So, yeah, no, your troopers are all kind of looking at like,
if it is a worm, perhaps we can point the autocannon at the ground and shoot it.
I think we have more important things to worry about. Potentially, whatever this thing coming forth is. Spread the lines.
All right. So you all continue your advance forward until you hear the sound of engines rumbling up ahead.
Oh.
Well then, prep a defensive.
Yep.
Autocannon.
Yeah.
Heavy cap. Heavy stubber at the ready.
Right. So this will be an awareness check for you guys to direct your fire teams, your heavy weapons crews.
6.
Oh no.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
All right.
Now, do I spend the wrath for this last one? Is it going to be
No,
important enough?
save the wrath.
Yeah.
It's into our game. Like, do you really want to be out of wrath that fast?
Well, you said 50%. It's like, oh, well, I could always get a wrath point back somehow by doing something.
In
insane.
hindsight, spending that wrath was probably worth it for not being in a raging inferno. But
yeah, that was a great success there. But yeah, what's gonna be the call?
I won't spend it. I will have them organized into an open fire line.
Sure.
As best I can.
Yeah,
but
by the books. And your green guardsmen do it. Bulvecki, as you start relaying the beaten zone to the autocannon crew, the rest of your squadron fans out and begins bending the stalks of corn. Hacking at the bottom, and then sort of like trying to, using entrenchment tools, kind of shove them down. And in a moment, you have an ad hoc picket established right in front of the autocannon.
That is suitable. A little bit of corn for the Emperor.
Yeah. Well, turns out to be a good shout, as the engine isn't what comes out of the grass at you. It's the worms that come out at you. The things are almost sailing atop the ground, the dirt, shooting along, and rapid, long strings of flailing arms isn't quite the right word. Tentacles isn't really either. Somewhere in between the two, that just seem to kind of shoot them along like oarsmen on the crew, on boat crews that you used to. Well, Bartlett, I'm sure you were on crew, but Buvecchi, I'm sure you watched at the Virginia Scholarium. The worms heading towards Buvecchi, the 23rd Squadron. They hit that cornstalk line, and a couple of them actually impaled themselves upon the cornstalk, while the rest start trying to slip and flip around underneath it. But at that point, your autocannon crew opens fire with precision unlike you haven't seen it in training vids, simulations. You've never seen accuracy like this before. And the las rifle and the las gun fire, your men of your people, your guardsmen have broken up into fire team elements, and every fire team is concentrating all 4 of their las guns on a segment of a worm, systematically utilizing the just weight of their fire to just bisect and cut the thing into cubelets, while the autocannons focus on their own individual worm. It's impressive as fuck. You literally have to do nothing as you stand and behold your guardsmen doing their job. While Sergeant Nagelhoot prowls around shouting and berating and redirecting fire zones to teams that are, got a little overzealous on a target that's already down. Bartlett, your troopers not having as good a time as worms shoot up into their lines. The fire line opens fire with the precision you've come to expect out of them, but they're not actually spreading it out while concentrating well enough. So they're simultaneously doing both things wrong, as they are firing everything into one point on the worms, which isn't enough to actually kill them. It just breaks off segments of them. But the worms simply, its body just seems to adapt. The maw almost shifts backwards. It's almost like the whole fucking thing's just a giant mouth. As segments broken off. You hear screams from some of your guardsmen as they are snatched up as worms travel through. They're now in amongst your lines. What do?
I do the only thing that a proper commissar will do. Bellow cry for the Emperor and rev my chainsword and go to town. Okay.
All right. Give me a weapon skill roll. Definitely check your true grit, if that's applicable in this situation. I can't remember off the top of my head if it is or not.
True grit. Characters with true grit suffer no DN penalty for the light wounded status and +1 DN for heavily wounded. In addition, these wounds attribute is increased to half my rank.
All right, so you haven't been hurt yet. Okay, yeah. Gotcha. Cool. So, how's your weapon skill roll?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
All right, that will exceed their defense with a shift. So, cool. Go ahead, give me a damage roll.
All right, damage. It's been one. Let me double check. 9 plus 1 ED.
So now 2 ED because you got a shift.
Cool. Do I add my strength to that?
I already did.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
So
saves time.
So you said 2 ED?
Uh-huh.
So I'll roll 2 die.
Also, it's brutal, so +1 to the result of each die.
Oh,
good
fair
shot.
enough.
Good shot.
All right, so 2d6 plus 1 to each roll.
So +2.
So a 6, which will be 2, and a 2. So 2 extra damage.
So 2 extra damage. All right, so how much damage total does that bring you to?
So with the 9, that'll be 11.
11? All right.
No,
3 wounds go through. It's
don't you add the actual dice?
No. It's the same point system.
So if I rolled a 4 or 5, it's 1 extra damage. I rolled 6, it's 2 extra damage plus the 9.
Yep.
Yeah. So in this instance, if he'd rolled a 5 and a 3, that would be the most ideal scenario for a brutal weapon, because the 5 would become a 6, giving you 2 points, and 3 would become a 4, giving you 1 point. So for 3 additional damage points. So that's where brutal would come in. But
so that is what happened here. He got a 6. So
he got a 6. So that gave him 2 points, 2 more points of damage, which is good because I did 3 points of damage onto the worm. And as such, you managed to, you do manage to bisect off a section that was lashed onto Private Hochard. So as you pull it off, the thing appeared. You see the bite marks in around the edges of his flak vest, but the really disturbing thing is the front of the flak vest is almost gone. It's being evaporated by some sort of acidic enzyme.
Makes sense.
It must spit up its digestive, its digestive fluid the minute it encounters prey to, begin the process. Which, again, if it's one big fuck off mouth, that totally makes sense.
Yep.
What are you doing with Hochard?
I get him up and tell him to continue firing. They're not dead, and we need all men to fire. So
just to clarify, it's still dripping from him.
Yes, that's correct.
so the stuff on his vest is still dripping, eating through him, right?
Yep. Yep.
That's what you're saying. Okay, so then I haul him up. So thank you for clarifying. So then I
No
grab him
problem.
by his vest, haul him up, tear that thing off, and say, "Fire!" I tell as soon as I get it up, return to fire, kneel position, fire. As I whip out my bolt pistol and start keep shooting.
Awesome. Yeah.
Seeing as my team is doing so well, can I snap off some bolt fire in the direction of my more beleaguered comrade?
Absolutely. Yeah. Give me a ballistic skill.
Please roll. I don't want to say it because I think it'll be bad, so I'll wait until afterwards.
Oh, come on.
Surely it being
That's
capitalized
what I
doesn't throw you off. Freaking
Yeah.
high spot. What the hell?
Apparently it does.
1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, that will hit it. So yeah, go ahead and roll your ED on your bolt pistol.
Yes, well, that's only 1. But that, since it's brutal as well, I get a 4, so that's 1 more, so 11 in total.
Great. 3 damage points as well. To I assume the same arm that he was chain sorting, so that'll kill that one. Bartlett, as you're helping Hochard get up, and the warp starts to wriggle and get itself back under control. Massive chunks of gore start blowing out of it. As you recognize the snapping of a bolt pistol and look up to see Buovecchi, braced in an isosceles stance, firing very precise rounds into it.
Kurt nod. Continue going.
All right.
Kurt nod back.
So with both of those successful actions, you guys can go ahead and give me one last leadership check for you troopers.
Oh, damn.
Oh. 1,
2, 3, 4.
All right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
What's the name of our regiment, by the way?
Oh, glad you asked. You have been attached to the Vostroyan Firstborn.
Oh, they're the Vostroyan! Oh, it all makes sense now!
I have not read up on them, so I know they're a bit,
They look like British Royal Guard. The Palace Guard.
Yep.
Yeah, imagine that, like in Imperial Guardsman form.
Every one of these officers, from the men to the women, are the firstborn of every family, from noble to peasant, and are sent to the guard. All their stuff is old age, well maintained. It's like relics passed down from family members to family members.
Not just the officers, it's all of the Corps.
Yeah, it's all of them. The best thing I love about them, though, is the lore they have for the regiment, the regimental standard.
Mm-hmm.
They, instead of being a passed down thing, specific members who are selected to do it fight to the death, and the last guy standing holds the banner of the regiment's banner. I
wanted to throw a curveball today with your guard regiment rather than picking one of the big 4 standards. So I'm glad I provided a little bit of joy in my choice for your best.
The biggest thing with these guys is they are full on. The orders are, they're good. They're really good guardsmen to have on your side.
They are. Their problem is they believe in reinforcing their units actively while they're in combat. So you get veterans mixed in with raw recruits, which I think's a good thing because the raw recruits can be trained by veterans. But since we're on the subject, I'll go ahead and key you in. Your D6 rolls at the beginning determined the percentage of veteran to noobs you guys had in your platoons.
I'm guessing that mine was strictly down to probably the sergeant and 1 or 2 and maybe one other person. Then
that is an astute guess.
Yeah, which is fine. I have no problem with that.
Yeah,
I'm totally cool with that.
And likewise, Scribbly, you managed to get the salt dogs, which, to be fair, you've done a pretty good job of impressing them so far.
Well, we'll see
they
what
do
happens
hate you.
They should. They should both fear
my
and hate
purpose
this
is
person.
to be hated, so that's fine.
So, yeah.
So, with that said, the battle proceeds over the next 72 hours as you all continue to clear the cornfields. But your units are successful. You know, a small part of it due to your bravery and individual leadership and tactical acumen, mostly on the backs of the guardsmen doing their fucking job, and the fact that you basically just won through a sheer wave attack, against your opponents. But you all back behind the lines. And in the commissariat kind of like rec room where commissars are kind of are allowed to have their off time, their downtime away from their guardsmen, and where they can be amongst peers, so they can kind of, you can let your hair down, take your cap off, as it were.
Talk about the 70% casualty rate without any overhearing.
Well, due to those last rolls, it wasn't 70%; it was closer to 15%. So
that's what I thought. I was about to say too.
It's good first time out.
Well, I was also about to say, could, while we have those moments in between, shout for the Medicaid to do their job and make Medicaid rolls?
Absolutely.
Cool.
I imagine you do. I don't need to.
Yeah, I have a 4, so I'd at least like to give a shot to maybe change that percentage to 10 rather than 15. But let's see how it goes. Because this will be on the field medic. See if they did their job.
Okay. Oh, bang and roll again, Micah. So yeah, your astute, and timely decision to supervise the crews, the medical corps, has it raised their spirits. So they have, under Bartlett's watch, they have redoubled their efforts to return as many of your Vostroyans back to your platoons as possible.
I kept the wounded as we did the advance. It was the over the fields we go method of first line was the one firing. Those wounded are left as the backup guys move forward, filling in the gaps as we continue advancing. Medicaid keeps the wounded patched up, but as soon as the wounded are basically there to move up, and if things need to be reloaded or tossed to them, that's what they did, because we can't push back properly.
Sure. I imagine you ask the Medicaid to be a bit more at the front line, because getting the acid-soaked rags that are melting off them really fast is more critical than,
Very much so. Very much so.
Yes. So if we were able to drop that from 15% down to 10 or even less than that, that'd be great. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Probably like a 0.5 difference. It's only one squad.
I mean, that makes the big difference for, hey, we got one more guy to the last thing. Well, if that one guy hadn't been there, it would have been a wipe. Because that's how guardsmen work.
Well, speaking of which, you almost feel the air get sucked out of the room as you all are, I assume, sharing some confiscated.
No, they're not. Yeah, we found the contrabands. That's for officers only.
I do not over confiscate, but whenever I feel the need, I will grab something.
I mean,
as you all kind of look over your shoulders to see Commissar Lanewand standing in the doorframe. At ease, Commissariat at ease.
We would have heard, officer in the room.
Yeah, basically, yeah. He waves you all down before you could even do that as he walks in, taking off his cap and dropping it and hanging his greatcoat amongst the rest of your greatcoats. As he walks over and drops a fatherly pair of hands smack onto your shoulders, Bartlett, and says, "Quick thinking, son. Quick thinking. You saved a lot of guardsmen out there, and we've actually now been relaying that SOP up and down all of the regimental command structures. That'll become the new standing orders to help deal with these worms. Very good show. And you, Borvecki, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
I'm not sure where that particular autocannon came from that ended up amongst your guardsmen, but the
Well, I
fact
just
of the
take
matter
the
is, I don't
gives.
need to know, son. The fact of the matter is,
I'm trying hard not to laugh.
your placement of it, and just happened to be, whether by the God Emperor's twinkling eye or just pure blind luck, a focal point at the center of the entire line, and managed to hold back the main thrust of the traders' attack with their little pets. So you've been put up for a commendation as well. Very good show.
Sure,
So-
Sergeant Makerholm will be pleased that he's helping me rise in the ranks, as it were.
I'm sure he is too. A good man, all of them. As he pours himself a bit of what you all are drinking and has a sip, and you'd think they could maybe sneak a little bit better in for themselves, though. Do us all a good favor, eh?
Yeah.
He snaps his fingers, and the door opens again, and you see another junior commissar, but a little older than you all. Been in a little, got a couple of years on you guys. His adjunct clearly rushes in and sets down a standard canteen and turns and heads back out with a quick wink at the commissar, who nods in gratitude. And have a bit of that, lads, as he pours you all some real fine stuff.
Oh boy. Well, much appreciated, Commissar.
Of course.
Thank you, sir.
Who shall we drink to first? To the Emperor, yes?
To the Emperor!
May he always smile on us. So your first day, lads, leading troops into combat. Bit of a mixed bag, but overall, showed good cunning, quick thinking, and all else failed. A steel spine. He says, Bartlett nodding at your chainsword, which is still a bit blotched up from the worm guts that carried a bit more of that whatever that enzyme is on it, and kind of marred up the the outer guard that protects the blades and the motor mechanism.
She'll be cleared and ready to again sing the chorus of Emperor's Fury by the morning, sir.
Very good. Very
Please,
good.
Sam. We've been told to. It's the only recourse.
Of course. It doesn't get easier. All this.
I imagine not.
So
but
I should.
It is our honor and duty.
It is our honor and duty. I would recommend personally not getting too attached to that as your way to get through it. You'll end up looking like Gaunt before you know it. Before you even touch 27. It's better ways to live. Better ways to live than that, son. But how fared you? What did you see out there? What did you feel? How are you doing?
Well, it is far too easy for the locals to set fire to the cornfields as a measure of preventing our advance, as it were. That will be one of the critical difficulties with
Quite
this
so,
place.
sir. They seem to have a seismic charge explosive for dealing with the worms that we encountered today. However, they have been digging those same trenches, but instead of smart charges down there to deal with the burrows, they were planting promethium bombs. Would have, had we not come across it and probably disarmed it, we would likely have been dealing with a firefight in addition, quite literally a firefight, in dealing with the advancing enemy attack.
Yes, I received similar reports from your peers all up and down the line. This seems to be the tactic they're going towards. Unfortunately, they're smart enough to know they're not going to stand and form a proper line against us, so I don't really know what the solution is other than to keep catching them before they set the bloody things off. What do you think?
Let's see. I don't have insight for a proper idea. What about
Well,
you?
I do. We do have all those ships that the Marshal has been grousing about she cannot be using. And I had a thought.
Armageddon patterns, yes.
Yes, I had a thought. Can they be, well, refitted to be fire prevention engines filled with water. Dump them over any areas of concern.
Modify the vigilance too.
Well, just put some
I see.
barrels on them.
Go ahead, give me a Go ahead, give me the roll for on your insight.
Insight. That's an 8, wasn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Commissar Lightwell slaps the table and he goes, I have to say, couldn't be more impressed with this class. Y'all are sharp. All of you, so sharp. Brilliant idea. Magnificent. Magnificent, Commissar Buvecki. I will speak with the Marshal at once. I believe she will be amenable to this idea. If nothing else, we could use the vigilance to scan to see if there's metallic traces, and then we'll send in the standard Marauders. Might be even easier to do it that way. Yes! Good show, man. Good show! And the Commissar stands up.
We do too.
Uh-huh.
I stand up and chair off the, holding the glass up.
Yeah, he shakes both of your hands and kind of pats you on the shoulders and nods. Says, "Very good, very good. Keep up the good work out there, man. You are, you have no idea how much the Imperium needs you." And with that, he turns, redons his greatcoat and his cap, salutes those who are saluting him, and departs.
I drain my drink. And
I
go,
do too, and just.
how much are you going to bet he's just going to take that idea and credit it to himself?
I don't care. The fact that we said it and we'll know it is the most important thing to me. Holy shit. The fact he was looking at us, man. Did you feel that sun? Jesus Christ. Lord Emperor above. I haven't felt like that since the old drill sergeant was holding the bolt pistol at our head for our failures. Jesus.
That was just an exercise. You know that, right? It was just an exercise.
I know.
You did not look like you knew it at the time.
You know me. I have one of the best poker faces in the regiment. That's why I kept winning off the sergeant, which is why he always kept threatening me with the bolt pistol.
Which is why I know you were shaking on the inside.
I know.
Well, whether or not Commissar Landwood gave you credit for it or not, the fact of the matter is that within the week, a massive carpet bombing campaign has begun on behalf of the
Watering the Crops initiative.
Yes, quite so. You hear rumors about the fuss the Imperial Navy initially put onto it, but like I said, within a week, you hear the monotonous, ever-present groaning of constant flights of Marauders coming in overhead, usually let out by a single plane. That would be the Vigilant class, and then followed up very briefly by the more standard ones coming in at low level to drop the. It's sort of a non-chemical coagulant, if that makes sense. Like, it's very strange. Not really anything in your particular area of expertise, but apparently the toasters up on the naval ships had something up their sleeves, because they got it working within a week, and that has rapidly intensified combat operations for you all as you have been gaining ground very swiftly. The worms are still a problem, but due to the nature of the new resistance placed upon the crops, melt-a-guns have been authorized to be brought into usage, and they've proven extremely effective at dealing with the worms both above and below ground. As the worms tend to come in skimming just below the surface if they come in underground when they're making a predatory attack, the meltas tend to punch right through the thin soil, the loose soil, and yeah. And weirdly enough, due to the high temperatures of their discharge, they actually neutralize the whatever the stomach enzymes are. So yeah, you're usually perfectly fine. Your troops are perfectly fine to press the attack rather than establishing defensive lines, cutting them down, and then maneuvering around the fetid corpses. Yeah. So yeah, no, the regiments have been advancing at breakneck pace. You all have been seeing combat regularly, but and when I say combat, I mean engagements. But quite frankly, morale's up, and casualties are low. You all have so far the traders have not found a means to repel you. They cannot resist you at this point. As
we've neutralized their greatest weapon.
Yep,
the worms.
You have
identified and neutralized.
The fact that I just love the idea of the worms. Silly lasguns. Melta. I'm so glad too that I would love in the game if Meltas were like they were in the Space Marine game. Shotgun. Blam! Best part, just vaporizing orcs with the Melta.
Yeah.
It does literally set everything else on fire, so there does need to be a ship on standby to dump stuff over everyone.
Oh, certainly. You all spend a good portion of your time wet at this point.
With
some
kind of chemical coagulant is surely not going to give us cancer later in life.
Oh no, they're not using the coagulant on the troops. Like,
okay,
yeah. So Lineward was very quick to point out that probably that's not a good idea to be dumping that coagulant on the guardsmen. Like, the toasters are sure it's safe. Obviously they're dropping it on food. They're quite confident it's fine, but yeah, the line one said no. There's plenty of water resources on this planet. Obviously, it being an agri world, like it would need it to sustain that. So yeah, the Marauders are dumping just water. So it never rains, but it pours on Precipirate.
Occasionally, we wash away and have to relocate gear and stuff. But yeah, that's the price of fighting.
Agri worlds: 60% water, 40% landmass, and 38% of that landmass is food.
Yep. But you're encountering part of the 2% now as you find yourself moving into a tree line.
Forest?
This is more this is more mountainous terrain. So there's not really soil, it's rock, it's deciduous and coniferous type trees. So yeah, really,
so this is where they grow the local pomegranates at. Makes sense.
Yeah.
The razor tree gives off this great this great fruit that can be turned into this wonderful alcoholic beverage.
I think you should be more concerned with the local guerrillas, to be honest.
Well,
forests
hold on.
Good for that.
Yeah, well, hold on. We're not. Oh, wait, you're talking about the troops. I thought you were talking about the creature. Oh,
no.
Now I'm sad.
We're at the point
with myself, not you. With myself. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Your Vostroians are much happier though now to be in this terrain as the temps are dropping a little bit. Where their natural cold weather gear of their parts of their uniform is much more of a help rather than a burden on them.
You can tell who the veterans are by the fact that they've removed some of their furs.
Yes. It's referred to as the summer smock. But yes, you all are moving up into, like I said, into this mountainous terrain. The both of you can go ahead and give me awareness checks.
That's a 6 for me too.
Suddenly in the wrong chat.
That was happening to me earlier. She's like, "Why is this?" It's in the wrong chat. Go.
Yeah. All right. Another glory point.
Oh, damn it!
Oh,
it's me. I'm the one pulling down
every time.
Okay, hold on. You say
4.
that, but you saved my ass. Then I catch us here, so it's back and forth. We're doing great. We are literally.
I mean, yeah, that is fair. We're not both failing.
Here's the thing. I think of it more like in an off way. We just got praise from All Might. You're Bakugo right now. I'm Deku. We work together. We're fucking unstoppable, man.
And then we fall to pieces once we get to become full commissars and get assigned to each of our positions.
Yeah, but that's later. That's later. Right now, we're still good. Anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So 5 for me.
Commissar Buveki,
Yes.
you see structures up ahead, carved into the mountainous terrain.
Bunkers? Are those bunkers? I'm looking to my sergeant.
Yeah.
Nagelhood.
Nagelhood says, well, sir, if they are, surely we should destroy them, yes? They're not firing on us. If they haven't noticed us, we could get up there quiet. Sneak up on them like.
Yeah, excellent idea. Let's do that.
Right. So Squad 23 is heading up, or 27 is heading up. Squad 13. Bartlett. You also see a structure. It's a column made out of human bones.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
There's sigils on them.
No.
Your guardsmen are immediately looking away. They don't know much, but they know not to look.
I will give a general order to hold ground, avert eyes, and radio over to my Commissar associate.
Well, first, my friend, you're going to give me a conviction test.
Damn it. Conviction of 3. Oh, Jesus. I forget. Oh, boy.
Well, you just need a 6 and a 4.
Wrong button. All right.
I wish I can tap up to get the last message in message rather than editing the last.
Right.
Oh! Jason! Thank you! Jason!
Yeah, Dicepot has given me my allotment of crits for the year after the Red Markets game I ran for RPPR on Tuesday, so you're welcome. Seriously, you guys are going to be in a treat for that one. I think Ross rolled 7 total, just by himself.
Oh, God, I'm so looking forward to it.
You feel the taint starting to reach out. Its presence in your chest, just like the ecclesiarchs at school told you that it would be. And just as you were taught, you stiffen up and bellow, "The Emperor protects!" and fire your bolt round into the column.
Okay, I do so. Hopefully that gets my oh, give me a second.
Buveki,
Yes?
Gordian, you've been calling him by his first name.
Yeah, I haven't. I didn't write it on my notes. I was going like, maybe pop over to the chat and get Gordian. But yeah, hopefully get to communicate with Gordian really quick to have him fall back.
Something is coming over the box. It's just, is it there in time?
Well, you probably hear me shout, "For the Emperor protects!" Bam, bam, bam! And I shoot at the location you're heading to.
No. That column wasn't there. It was by you.
Okay,
No.
Okay.
Yes, Buveki, you do hear the sound of a bolt pistol firing, but you and your men are already halfway up the slope, in a very exposed position, heading towards the bunker. So, right now's not really the time to be curious about what Oh, did someone just get executed? Did we have our first execution? Who got it?
Or guerrillas or whatever.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, the guerrillas don't have bolters.
But it's rather unfortunate for us because we were in the moment of trying to sneak up. And if there's defenders, they're now looking out the windows. So.
Yes!
Move!
Yeah, fantastic. Give me a leadership check. I love it.
Get in position. Ow!
Yes. I'm not even going to calculate that. Yes. Your veterans, your veteran squad responds immediately, realizing the danger they're in as they leap up and rush forward. your special weaponsman firing his belted gun at nearly point blank range, straight through the slit of the structure.
Man, I hope that's a bunker and not a civilian residence.
Well, yeah, and yeah. As something lashes out and snatches the melta gun and the guardsman arm with it and pulls it back.
Definitely not a civilian residence. Good. Keep firing.
Well, that's when the screams start. As forms begin to lash out from the darkness and from doorways. Some of your guardsmen had moved up and frag grenaded doorways. Forms are stumbling out of them. And your guardsmen are firing. They are following your orders, even if you hadn't given the order. No shit. The forms aren't going down though. At all. Not even seem to be phased too much by the last gunfire hitting them. You see the bright, glimmering red-pink holes burning through them. Your guardsmen are landing their hits. The last guns are doing their job. There's no armor whatsoever stopping this. And yet, nothing. Do you have Scholar? Do you have Scholar?
I do have Scholar.
You can give me a Scholar roll if you wish.
Thank God you do. I don't. So I'm so lucky I got the commission.
I'll use a Wrath for this one.
You're going to Wrath it? Okay, cool. So you have 2 successes there. You can reroll the rest of them. 5 dice, I guess that'll be.
Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. Did I spend a glory in addition? But we only have the 1 and it's yours, technically, so...
No, there's 2. You guys got 2 currently.
We have spent 1. Did we get another?
And you earned another one back. Yep. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, chat's good. Yeah, chat's good. We're up to date on our glory if you want to spend 1.
So I can spend
we've got 2.
Yeah. All right, you're going to spend 1? Cool.
I'll spend 1 first, and then I'll do the rest.
Oh, okay. All right. Fair.
So then it's still 5.
Yeah.
So that's 3, 4, 5, 6.
With the 6, you have been briefed on potential on the you took again you're the face, you're you're valedictorian, your class, so you got to take some fun classes, including potential hostiles of the warp, which didn't get too much into details as far as understanding the immaterium. No, can't risk
more like
can't risk
what
chaos, chaotic knowledge spreading. But you did get a decent class on, threat profiles, including poxwalkers.
God damn it!
Papa Nurgle.
Well then,
this behavior seems to reflect exactly what your instructor described to you about these particular creatures.
What did the instructor? I don't know poxwalkers. So what did the instructor tell me?
Zombies. So. Okay. He told you that you need to use concentrated las gunfire or flamers, basically to eliminate the entirety of the body. So basically, your guardsmen are going to have to be pumping las packs worth of fire into the head, the torso, the limbs, because they will still react individually. If you hacked it to pieces, he showed you a video of an Astartes hacking a poxwalker to pieces with his combat knife, and the bits kept crawling at the massive living tank, which, the Ultramarine callously responded by curb stomping every bit until it was paste. You don't have that option because you're not a walking tank. But
no,
we don't have the ability to go Dead Space Isaac on all these things.
Correct.
Definitely not. But I can order my guardsmen to fall back and tell my Vox officer. Is it Vox officer?
Oh yeah. You gotta
to inform that threat type DE65 has appeared. We need flamers or massive concentrated fire.
All right. Your box your boxman relays that word for word. The chatters. Then he kind of pauses and looks at you, sir. What is the D365E threat profile, sir?
It means that we need to really eradicate this enemy so that it doesn't keep walking at us.
sir.
Everyone disengage.
All right, that'll be another leadership check. Pull your men back.
One. Yep, that's a glory.
All right, there's another glory. Got that back.
Two.
Nice.
Only 4,
With
despite.
4. All right. 4 will work though. 4 will work to you don't need to work too hard to convince your men. As they're they're noticing the same thing.
When the
you obviously are.
commissar says fall back.
Yeah. Commissar says fall back. Not questioning this. So Buveki, you and your crew, you're now seeing it. You're seeing what's going on, as well as you hear something. It's smashing through the woods towards you. You're hearing trees splintering like kindling from up ahead.
All right. Let's see here. Let me take a look at my skills real quick.
Sure.
They don't list demolition specifically, so that would be a tech check, wouldn't it?
Yes, yes, it would. Yeah.
I don't have that, so I can't do that. So,
Well, what are you wanting? Remember, you are a commissar. You have a shit ton of guardsmen with a variety of specialties, so you don't have to have them.
Oh, I know. I have a chitter for that, and
yeah,
I was planning on, since there's a big thing coming our way. It's from a forest, right?
Yeah. You're in a tree line right now. So yeah.
We're in a tree line. Is there higher cover, like the rock or slope we can start to ascend?
Yeah. No, you guys are going uphill. The enemy's coming downhill at you.
Okay, so crap. So we're at the low ground. So this is a bad thing.
You had just started up the slope when the bunker complex and the totem were encountered.
Okay, so we need to get out of the kill box, essentially.
Agreed.
All right.
Well, inside the kill box and triggering it early, so that was a bit.
Hey, I triggered the kill box before they had a chance to get proper set up. So now they're running to get to the kill box.
Oh, they were proper set up. Well, we were the only ones in it.
Fair enough. So yeah, so need to get out of here. So since they're coming at us, need to get off either. So it's either fall back to a strong position to have them come rushing at us, or press through and attack them. So
yep. That is the standard responses to near ambush.
Yep. So falling back could potentially cut off us from Gordians, so I don't want that. So it's going to have to be press in. So I'm going to have to roll leadership for that one to get everyone riled up and pushed forward.
Yep.
All right.
That you are.
Yep. So then, did the Vox relay the shout of the D?
Oh yeah, no, your Vox man is right by you.
All right, then
probably lighting up if anyone who knew who that was at.
Yeah, no, that's that. I know the code now.
Oh yeah, codes are going around. Yeah, no, and responses. You're getting responses. High command is well aware of what's going on.
So then, knowing that I would need flame stuff. No, it's not. I don't have insight, so I would have been cunning. Thank you. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, cunning.
Can I do a cunning to have
to have equipped your men with flamers? Absolutely.
Yes.
That's absolutely a thing you could have done.
It's safe to equip them with flamers now.
Yes. So, all right. Well, flamers would be a good thing to have now.
All right. Give me the roll.
Right,
let's see if you thought of that. Oh, there's another another glory point. Nice. You're up to 3 now.
It's a 4.
So that's 4.
Is that enough?
With a 4, you have and flamer.
No, we got to have all of it. So I'll spend the last wrath and
spend glory.
Yeah, you can spend glory.
Okay. We have 4 I've got listed here. Does that match up with you?
We're
3.
3? Okay, 3.
We just got one extra one.
Yeah, because I just got that extra one. Because we still had one that we still had floating around. Then he just got 2 on the chat line here.
Oh yeah, that's right. You did get a second one. My bad. Yeah. So yes, you are 4.
Can I spend 2 of them? Would that be all right? Or is it only 1?
That's up to your team.
You can spend both if you want.
I'll spend 2. So that brings us down to 2.
You're the one getting all of these. I've been counting until the last one there.
Yeah. All right. So I will roll for 2.
2d6. Oh! All right. All right. Yeah. No. You were swapping out. You're swapping out your special weapons personnel. Trading out the grenade launchers and the stubbers for flamers.
Okay, then the order will be advance, flamers to the front. We are going through heavy contact. Blow. I will just rattle out what I know for dealing with poxwalkers without telling them what it is, and to expect the enemy to perform terror tactics at this point. You will engage. You will not retreat. You will only charge. You understand me, soldiers?
All right, that'll be a leadership rule. Go for it. This is going to be a 5 to make it though.
Right, so it's a leadership of 8. So let's see.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Well, yeah,
You are the lead from the front guy.
you really are. That's that was the intention I had with them. So yeah, okay.
I want you to bring the flames of fury and the Emperor's wrath to these foul traitors. Burn them all.
Well, the good news, Bartlett, as chainsword revving, spittle flying as you cry out to your men stand up and they move and they are going uphill, war crying as they go. Their spirits raised by the commissar and his the really at this point they've really noticed the loyalty. Like maybe they haven't quite gleaned that it's more because that's your boy from back in school in that squad over there, but like they notice you like to go forward to try and to support other units. Like they don't ever, there's never that coldness that they were told to expect from a commissar as far as orders go. So they definitely follow gleefully.
Yeah.
And the scream and their war cries turn to screams as the plague bearer stumbles out of a copse of trees and slams into them, bloating bile and gaseous fumes all over them. Yeah, you kind of have maybe just a hint of self-doubt right there. So I'm gonna need a conviction roll out of you, or Micah. Actually, no, that'll be resolved because that's a fear check.
Remember +1 for your rank.
Yes.
Okay. So that'd be 3 instead of 2. So 1.
Well, that meshes with the self-doubt.
Yep. So yeah, cutting back to Bulvecki, you have successfully picked your men up and fallen back, but you see Bartlett's forces have advanced. So basically, you all have traded positions now on the slope.
Well, I'll try to halt them so that we can not necessarily join as boys, but provide fire support for him, because we probably don't have those flamers. Because I was quite happy with the autocannon trade.
Sure. So that'll be insight tactics to lay in proper fire support, because you've seen what these things are doing, and your weapon's worth the best at handling them, and now they're starting to mix in amongst Bartlett's forces. So
that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
But with 8 successes, yeah, sure. I guess you paid attention at gunnery school. So yeah, you
Valedictorian.
Yeah, you lay in firing lines and order your bid firing the cannon on single shot precision rounds, which they comply immediately and begin chunking the massive depleted uranium core slugs right in amongst Bartlett's forces. And yeah, with your 6s shifting up above over the cutoff point, you're doing it. Bartlett is losing troopers, but not on account of you, as the plague bearer takes hit after hit, ripping massive pieces of putrid flesh and organs out of it. Poxwalkers detonate with little more fanfare than a green splurch. So yeah, Micah, you can you got a breather. Bartlett, right. What are you gonna do?
Well, the Poxwalker is still up, right?
No, the plague bearer though is still a problem.
Thank you. I got them mixed up.
Yeah.
That has to go down. So because the troops are gonna freak out and such if it's still up. So self-doubt, but gotta do that thing. Well,
persuasion. You're gonna need a persuasion.
for me charging in,
Oh, you're gonna do it. Okay.
I'm doing it.
All right, you're doing it. Great.
That's probably leadership if he's trying to inspire by example, or just fighty.
No, he's gonna inspire by fighting. So no,
Yeah.
give me a weapon skill as you head at the plague bearer.
So I'm okay.
I'm like,
so
oh, Emperor, no.
I still
don't
have-
do it,
if you're you get a +1 dice for the attack.
Okay.
Gordian is going like, oh, Emperor, don't do it, don't. Oh, he's doing it.
Oh, Emperor, protect this idiot.
Yep.
Right, so it's an 8 for weapons, so 9 then.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay, so 9. Whew! I was so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You just hit it.
Yeah.
This thing's defense is insane.
Well, yeah, it's a plague walker.
What are you doing up front?
All right, Micah, go ahead, roll your ED for your chainsword. Let's see if you hurt the thing. Yeah. That's
11?
the way to do it. So what does that bring you up to?
So with the 9, that makes it 11.
All right. You do 2 points of damage to the fat fuck.
Congratulations, you nicked it.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
that was expected.
Give the fat bastard a hang now at this point. But yeah,
That is also a point. The guardsmen see you nicking it.
yeah, it does, and they redouble their efforts. As Sergeant Gretsch and half a dozen other guardsmen rush in, bayonets flashing as they too stab in alongside you, ripping open the belly, fully and completely. 2 guardsmen die instantly from the gas that spits back out at you, but Gretsch herself sacrifices her arm to stuff a melta-bomb inside of the creature's belly. As you drag her clear, as it with a it begins as a belch and ends with a hiss, kind of like a whoopee cushion getting just annihilated as the melta-bomb just evaporates the plague bearer from the inside out.
And somebody else evaporates the quickly festering arm of Sergeant Gretsch.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I will personally be hauling her out of there, screaming for the Medicaid.
Yeah.
But that just totally reminds me of Captain Cortez from Rin's World, when he, having already been disarmed, literally his arm torn off by an orc he was fighting, jumps the thing from behind, rides it for minutes because he's fighting a Meganob, throws a crack grenade down its gullet, gets thrown off, then goes, huh? Boom!
Yeah.
Blows
up. So yeah, Buvecki, what do you want to do with your force at this point? Bartlett's in full retreat, getting what's left of his force out, but reinforcements are on their way up. Chimeras with heavy flamers are moving up as we speak. So what do you want to do?
Well, we've pulled out the main course of the ambush and the really nasty demons. So before they can summon any more, I want to go into this complex and start clearing it out.
Conviction.
That's a 46 for me, I think.
Yep. And you need a 3. Like it's always a 3.
3d6. I can't add a rank to that.
Conviction's always a hard one to do.
Yeah.
Well, I also have self-doubt, but it is the right thing to do, right, Emperor? I mean,
all right. So yeah, you'll need to give the leadership check, but it's going to be at a 7 now. Because you need to convince yourself to do it too.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
All right.
It is the right thing for the Emperor.
And that's another glory. That's another glory dice. I see you managed to get yourself there.
We're at 3 again.
All right, you and your men move into the bunker complex.
Can you spend 2, or did you only spend 1?
I spent 2, so we were at 2 at that point.
Yep,
And then
you're now 3.
Yeah.
Actually, according to my count, we've spent 4, and we are at 5 in total. So we have 1 left.
No, I think the count's good, man.
All right. So we're at
If it's
3.
not, if it's not, you're getting some freebies. Yeah, it's cool.
Okay, thank
Leave
you.
it. Yep.
Sorry for dropping.
Yeah, no, that's all good. So yeah, you head into the bunker complex. It is foul. Even you really wish you had one of the Vostorians rebreather, kits as you head inside. Yeah, they're hacking too. So maybe maybe they're only marginally better off than you. But
I'm protected by my faith in the Emperor. I'm protected by my faith in the Emperor. I'm protected by my faith in the Emperor.
they're kind of they snort and chortle at you, and one has mercy on you and hands you a kit off of one of the fallen.
I gratefully thank it. Take it.
But as you move inside, what you find is beyond horror. It is a shrine to Papa Nurgle. The nearest village, the entire populace that wasn't converted, into poxwalkers. The plague bearer was busy. You see nearly 100 corpses in here are currently in various stages of either being put up for decor or being converted into Grandfather Nurgle's favorite flesh.
Let's aim us up here and let's clear this up before it gets worse. We need to tell High Command that they're starting to use civilians.
So your turn for a resolve check.
That I have 4 in.
Okay.
Because Commissar.
Yes.
3. That doesn't add to the, or does it?
So I think resolve is one of the only ones you don't roll a wrath dice on. I'm pretty sure, because it's basically just it happens or it doesn't. So with 3 you succeed. So
I steal my resolve.
Yeah, I'm gonna chalk that one up for you, man. All right. So it is your forces are rotated out nearly immediately back to the line.
Because they need a quick introduction into denying the fact that they saw demons.
Yeah, and so you all are back at the the commissar cantina, as it were. What are you guys doing now? It's not quite the celebratory mood as the last time you were here.
I marvel at the fact that Samuel's alive. What took you, man?
What do you mean, what took
What
me?
Holy Spirit came over you?
The Emperor?
Name the saint.
Celestine?
Possibly.
That's a good one. That's a good one to have come over you.
Yeah. I mean, do you say me? Holy crap. Sergeant Getz. I know she's lost her arm. I'll do what I can to get her an augmented, but I'm giving her a commendation. Guy, the Emperor. Had she not planted that melta-charge, I'm sure that thing would have kept going.
My next move was to target it with the autocannon, but since you guys were in melee, I wasn't exactly going to shoot at it and risk your life.
That's fair. I didn't know what else might be coming. For all I knew, you had one up there on the ridge with yourself. I figured you had the better...
The Emperor not. But they were clearly expanding their reach, as it were. There were like 100 corpses in there, any number of which could have turned into poxwalkers.
It's a good thing you cleared it.
I'm truly glad we sped through the fields at such a rate. They must be at the back foot. This could have been far worse if we'd been delayed.
Agreed. And now that the High Command knows, we can, well, they'll have proper
heresy.
They've gone to heresy. Before it was just traitors. Had it only just been that, perhaps they could have found some Emperor's mercy. But now
they're damned.
They have. It's
And at that, the door bangs open, and Commissar Lanewood walks in. Much less jovial this time, as there isn't the hand waving away as the cantina ceases all activity as everyone launches themselves to their feet as he slowly removes his cap and gestures for you all. Not dismissively, but apathetically. At ease. He moves to stand before all of you. Today, it is time for all of you to learn about the greatest burden that any member of the Commissariat must suffer. And I tell you this because there are many in the Imperium who do not, in fact, believe this to be a burden. They believe it to be manifestations of ego or the madness of authority and power. But I assure you, I haven't forgotten a single face. I have been a commissar a long time. Today, by order of myself, on behalf of the High Marshal, Tapithia Larson, you are all commissioned to produce summary executions in lieu of cowardice or manifestations of heresy. I lay this burden upon you due to the unfortunate discovery we've made in the Northern Quadrant. The enemy has turned to chaos. These are no longer traitors we are fighting. These are heretics.
The enemy has become the enemy.
the enemy has become the mega enemy.
Yes.
Well, they do refer to them as the enemy, capitalized, don't they? Great enemy, really, but also the enemy.
Yeah. You all have been trained. You have been instructed on what to look for. The Imperium trusts your judgment, and I trust your judgment.
I look at Samuel doubtfully. As if I'm not trusting his judgment, actually.
The commissar nods once, seems to want to say something, thinks better on it, puts his cap back on, and marches out the door again before you all can even snap back to attention. So yeah, no, you all are now authorized to perform executions at the site of, basically, you know the list: cowardice in the face of the enemy, treason, manifestation of heresy, etc., etc.
Being possessed by a demon, although if it's come to that, you should have done something earlier. Very well then. Samuel, sit down, let's have another drink. Just for tonight.
We're gonna need them, so make sure to give a good one, but not all of it.
And by the way, if you do need some advice, if I'm able, I'll take a look over your troops. Hmm?
Thank you, my friend.
All right. The campaign into the mountains is a slog. It drags on. More weeks pass as at first the Imperium tries to use mechanized infantry. That way, heavy flamers, are more easily brought up in support of the guardsmen. What are they?
But it's too mountainous.
Vindicator variant Lehman Russes, I think, is the one with the big fuck off flamethrowers.
Yep.
Yeah. They're bringing up. They're bringing up as much arm as they can, but very quickly the terrain just is completely unmanageable.
They would likely have modified Sentinels to go through with flamers, but even so, Sentinels, while able to have better mobility than the tanks, even so.
Yeah, and from the air, Marauders have been conducting firebomb campaigns. Good old Holy Prometheum. You could airdrop it just as easily as you can squirt it out of a flamer. But again, due to the extreme nature of the mountains, bombs basically, aren't able to target any hostile structures, up at the peaks.
Also, it's kind of hard to fly around mountains. with
Also,
helicopters.
yes. So it's up to you all now. The mechanized guardsmen have been battling for the last few weeks. That's their time back in the rear. Y'all are being sent up. They at least have the courtesy to drive y'all up on Taurons and Chimeras. But yeah, basically you're dumped out, and you were fitted for long range reconnaissance patrols. And basically every squad is given a goat trail. Good luck. If it's too nasty, call back for artillery. But there's no way Valkyries are getting in there to get you out. So you gotta, whatever you walk into, you gotta walk your ass right back out of.
I'm going, before we begin the proper march, I'd like to take a time to talk to my troops.
Okay, be my guest.
I'm going to make a leadership check for this specifically.
Great.
But I will inform them. You have all, assuming we have informed them that the traitors have, that the renegades have turned full traitor, and that before us now stands the great enemy. They've aligned themselves with that. So then I will turn to tell them, before this news and before this day, you could count on me to stand with you. But now there comes the greatest test you will come to in this campaign. And from here on out, this will be the test of you as a soldier for any campaign. You will not run. You will not shrink from your duties. Know now that I have been a companion to you, an ally, and your leader of this squad. But know this. Should you turn your back on the enemy, you turn it upon your fellow soldier, myself, and the Emperor. That will warrant you the same fate as those that you must face down. And I shall give you the Emperor's judgment. I hold up my bolt pistol and show it to them.
Yeah.
This is not a tool to slay the loyal. This is a tool to slay the heretic, the traitor. Turn your back upon the Emperor, upon me, upon those you stand beside right now, and you will feel its wrath.
All right, give me a roll.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
All right. I mean, your troops, this is still for a lot of their first deployment, but at this point, they're no longer, recruits. They've seen this, but now, this is a whole new ball game, and they get it, and they get it, and they now, those of whose faces you can see, there's no longer the that innocent light of faith and trust. Now there's just the solemnity of fearful respect. They believe you.
And it's with a heavy heart I turn and lead them.
All right. Buveki.
Yep.
In the other billet, meanwhile.
All right, you fuckers, let's go.
No, you're not greenhorns. You know what's up. I know what's up. If I turn traitor, you shoot me. If you turn traitor, I shoot you. I'll send the roster reroll. No, it would be fitting. But they just okay, we can shoot him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'm not gonna lie, I probably would have had them frack you right there.
That's a lot of ones.
Oh gosh.
Oh.
Most of them gotta look around at each other and just kind of shrug, Fair enough. they've seen you're not an imbecile. But at the end of the day, you're just another fucking commissar. That's what you fuckers do.
I mean, I kind of expected that, which was I didn't make a grand speech because
Yep.
time.
So yeah, Bartlett, you are departing up your goat trail with your squad. Where are you positioning yourself in the movement of march? Because you guys are pretty much going column file, like single line, up the goat trails.
As silly as it is, as Bartlett has set up the image of himself and now is regretting it as he's thinking about it, walking forward. He's at the front.
At the very front, you are walking point, chainsword swinging. You have a point man out front.
I mean,
Are we together, or are we all each on our gold trail?
Nope, you're each going to be on your own goat path. So yeah,
Hooray!
you are on your own. No more buddy. Saving time. Now yep. You guys are. It's on you, your squad, your sergeants.
I mean, in technicality, I should be at the rear because you can't get past me, and I'm more terrifying than the thing in front of you.
Exactly, but no, you've already made the legend of Bartlett has been heard. Like, I mean, so the troops are already whispering you'll be the next Commissar Yarrick. Like,
oh God. As soon as I hear that, it's like. Internally.
Oh, there's already rumors going around. You carry the plague bearers. You carry one of its arms as a in lieu of your chainsword, like other parts of the regiment, obviously that don't interact with your line with where you guys in the line. But like, yeah, no, you guys have heard from other commissars who are laughing their asses off at that stupidity.
I think back to all those years ago to when my instructor. Lord Caiaphas had told us, whatever you do, you fucking idiots, don't be a hero. Get to the fucking paperwork, you idiots. What's wrong with you? And now those words sing true in my head, just like, I really want to get to that desk job now.
Caiaphas wouldn't say that. He would hint at it strongly. But he wouldn't say it out loud.
Yeah.
So that being said, Bartlett, are you walking point or do you have a point man and you're behind him? Or
F it, man. I'm at point. Let's do this.
Awareness!
I make it. The guy behind me dies. There must be something afoot. All right, so it's a 6. Please, let's see. Hey! Oh!
All right.
I've learned this about whenever I do dice. As long as I'm doing, okay, I gotta think, I gotta kill something, I gotta go ahead of it. As long as I do that and keep that, they're pretty nice to me. I stop failing that, everything goes bad. It's proving true here.
Yup. Outlined along a ridge line. Basically across across the this is the ridgeline opposite your own, so like across a draw, like or valley, however you'd prefer to describe it, in the mountains. You see glinting in the light a las cannon battery that the heretics have set up.
Is it pointed towards us?
Not currently. You clocked it before it clocked you.
Okay, we're on a goat trail. There's no real good cover here, is there? Or
no, not even a little bit.
All right, so I will order for double time, and I will order the Vox officer to relay location.
Okay.
The emplacement.
Great. As you begin to move, you suddenly get a weird feeling at in the back of your neck. You stop and turn around. Half your squad's missing.
I'm glad I brought 3 extra clips. God damn it. Firstborns.
You can go back and see what's going on?
Yes.
All right. As you move back, you see half the squad is back down and around a bend in the trail. Pierce Sergeant, the form the hulky, the husky, beaver cap wearing form that you pretty sure as Gretch appears to be berating someone as quietly as she's capable of.
Okay. I approach.
Well, Buveki, where are you at in your order of march as your forces head up the goat trail?
I'll have the most skilled scout be up front.
All right.
And ideally, if they're sneaky, if there's someone capable of being sneaky here, they'll take the
Sure.
maybe in a duo or a trio if there's that many.
All right,
But
so
I want
yeah.
some scouts.
So yeah, you've got your scouts up. So where are you putting yourself though in the order of march? Are you
Middle.
staying middle? Great. Give me an insight.
Let me double check what my insight is. Keep forgetting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay. Yeah, you picked the right people as you're moving along. Suddenly, Nagelhoot kind of raises a fist to call a halt, and he turns and beckons you to move forward. And yeah, one of your scouts is there.
What's the situation?
We've encountered. He looks around a little bit and leans in. Bit more the same from last month. If you catch my meaning.
DE64.
Yes, sir. He doesn't appear to know we're here, but it's he's a bit thick. You know what I mean? He's covering the path.
Mm.
Not gonna be able to sneak past it.
Let me think. Any outcroppings near it?
One, sir.
Can we drop it on it?
I'm not much of a climber. It's gonna be one hell of a gamble.
No, I mean drop the outcrop on it.
I understand, sir. But we're gonna have to climb up over it. It's in our path. We're gonna have to get up above it. And these walls, he gestures. And yeah, this is a pretty wet planet. So, you've got nice jagged, but like jagged in the sense that there's lots of cuts, but smooth as far as the facing goes of the mountainside, from moisture, snow, ice, glacier, slide, etc. So
Yeah.
Okay. Not gonna be an easy climb. You're gonna have to get somebody who knows what the fuck they're doing to get up there. Sneak up and slip a crack grenade under that into a somewhere on that outcropping to drop that thing on the plague bearer.
All right. Can I pick up a skilled climber?
That'd be another insight. How well do you know your troopers?
Oh, well enough.
Please no. I turned away from it. Oh God!
Yeah, it's as bad as you think it is.
I have a second draft.
You go spend it.
I'd rather do that than completely lose the confidence of the troops.
All right. That's better.
1, 2,
that's
3. Not good, but
not good.
better.
But it is 3. Three's good. 3's fine. It's not a raving success though. As Bowman instantly begins to grouse as everyone looks at her. So back to Bartlett. You're moving along. You glance across the ridge. The last cannon is active. You can see it moving. So it's fucking manned. You really don't have time to be fucking around out on this ledge.
But what's causing us the holdup?
I'm sorry, sir. Private Bowman here seems to have a loss of confidence in our mission. She looks down and you see Private Bowman curled up in a ball at her feet.
Are there 2 Bowmans?
Sorry, Hochard. Yeah, Hochard was who I meant. Yeah, Bowman's yours. Hochard
Okay.
is
Hochard.
is,
Okay.
yeah, Hochard is fucking Bartlett. Sorry, my bad.
Yes. 1 second. To rank 1. Where's that commissar ability? Here we go. Right, close intimidation checks. Okay. Then I'm going to, because we can't afford to slow down. Is he literally blocking the way from the rest of the troops to go?
No, he has blocked the path. He will not move. He is clutching the sides of he is basically he's like a cat, trying to stop itself from going into a sink. Like that's basically what he's doing. He's like, nope, no further. This is suicide. You can hear him whimpering. It's suicide. It's suicide. It's suicide. It's going to see us. We're going to be splattered off the side of this rock. The Emperor can't even see us here. There'll be no redemption here. My soul will be eaten by Nurgle. And he's just muttering to himself.
I'm doing an intimidation check. I've just rolled for it. I want to.
Okay.
So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right now.
5. Yeah.
So what is this? The Emperor's going. The Emperor can't see. It was just as he's muttering that. I lean in, grab him, get his attention to meet with the sound of a. I see you, and you're still in front of me. Don't get behind me. Now run!
He screams.
Does he just scream?
Well,
Not running?
He starts to. He starts to scream. You see him opening his mouth to scream. He has not screamed yet. You didn't roll a 1. So yeah, he's not going to scream yet. But...
That's 6 successes though.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Your intimidation check worked. He's scared. He's not following your orders, though. He's broken. So, yeah, you know what you need to know is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Mike,
so there's, I know. I tried once. So before he gets a chance, hands over his mouth, knife. I don't even bother looking at because I know where she has her combat knife. The stuff he gets. Grab it straight to his throat. Just no hesitation. There's no, I gotta.
Yeah. I
just end it quick. Then let him drop and say, move to the rest of them.
All right. Leadership roll.
That's 8. I still have a wrath if need be. One, 2, 3, 4.
All right. Your guardsmen nod to you and proceed along the path.
Yep.
None of them look down at the body they're stepping over.
Yeah, we can't.
Yep.
Question though. Yeah.
Question.
It's the only thing it would be is if double timing it won't get us out of there before they start opening fire. I doubt stealth will really be a good enough role to avoid that thing firing down on us.
So here's the thing. You knew it was active, so you knew you couldn't afford to have your position revealed and get hung up here.
Okay.
With the lack of the failure on your roll, he didn't scream and draw the attention. So the last cannon is not on you. You're okay.
So
your troopers are good.
Yeah. So it's basically just we gotta move, double time, let's go. And we just
and your guardsmen are moving. Yep. Nope. Not a word, not a hesitation. Gretch takes her knife back, wipes it clean on the snow, and replaces it back into her scabbard.
Before we leave, though, knowing that we're dealing with Vostroyans, I reach, grab the rifle, hand that to her as before we start moving.
All right.
So yeah, Horcha's family rifle will be returned to his family.
She blanches, even though you can't see her through her mask, you could tell she blanches a bit, and then looks at you for, it feels like forever. It's probably no more than 5 seconds or so. Before she pulls out, her rifle cover that everyone carries their rifles in when you're boarding, transport vessels and stuff to keep the thing nice and clean and fine, and places Hotard's rifle into it, and then reslings it upon her back, and she turns and double times to catch back up with the squadron.
Okay.
Right. Back to
who is grinning and looking at Corporal Bowman.
Bowman's like, that. I'm not doing this. I'm not. I can't climb that. I can't climb that, sir. Look at it. Look at this. There's no handholds. She's like patting at it with her mitts, indicating that she can't climb. I'm not going near that thing. I've already seen enough. Nope. Not doing it.
The
The rest of
very
them are
point
all
here is that you won't have to go near that thing if you climb and blow the cliff face all over it and dump it into the, wide yawning chasm just below us. That is the entire point.
No, it's chaos. It'll see me. It'll sense me. It'll smell my soul. No, I'm not doing this. I'm not fucking going. And she's backing up, trying to slide along the wall to head down the trail.
Corporal, please don't do this.
You give a persuasion roll.
All right, that would be 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Corporal, I've known you since the beginning. You are not a coward. Whatever you are, as you suffer through every indignity I've thrown at you, you've always been rude, crass. You've not feared me for a moment. And I think you can use that. If you do not fear me, you definitely do not fear some demon.
For a moment, like, you can almost feel her eyes locking with yours through her gas mask, and then she spins to the guardsman next to her. He's a joke. We just frag him. That's all of this. The monster killed him. We go back. It'll be fine. No one will question it. And with one move, the guardsman standing next to her friggin' snatches her melt-a-gun out of her hands before she could even try to raise it, and steps back away from her. Sergeant Eaglehood steps up next to you, and it says, "I'll climb, sir. You need to handle this."
Very well.
The rest of you guardsmen simply stand there, watching, not
we'll
moving.
Walk forward, say, "Well, I hoped I could use your fearlessness, but clearly I was mistaken as to its nature." And I will. What's the best thing? Revving up the chainsaw should probably not be a great.
Probably pretty loud in the mountains, I'd say.
Yeah.
I'd say you've probably got a suppressor for your bolt pistol.
That's possible.
Yeah, it actually is. That's a thing. It does exist.
Yes.
It does exist.
It works.
Yeah,
for
give me
Marine.
give me a cutting roll if you got. Yeah, see if you got a suppressor for your bolt pistol.
All right. Yeah.
I mean, you knew where the autocannon was, so.
You did know,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I know someone in the military.
Yeah, you totally do. You got a suppressor for the bolt pistol, so.
Oh, I click that on and shake my head and blow her away.
Yep. So yeah, the rest of your guardsmen look at you for a moment.
I kind of shrug, like, fuck it. It is what it is.
Several of them just kind of nod or shrug back at you. And then they move back up to set in the blocking position. A few minutes later, you hear the snap of a crack grenade and the rumble of falling stone. And then your scout heads back to you and gives you an affirmative signal. That
Might still have survived, but...
Sergeant Eaglehood, unfortunately, was killed during the rock slide.
Indeed. Corporal Bowman is also dead.
Yes.
During the rock slide.
Yes, sir.
Right there.
One of them move over and take her, and yeah, they wrap up her melt-a-gun. If that's the way you're going to play it, that she doesn't, her family name isn't dishonored, then yeah, they'll take her weapon back to her too.
They have some, intra-loyalty, despite it all, I think.
Yeah. And thus we come to your final challenge as commissars, gentlemen. As you continue to ascend the mountain peak, you reach a plateau that was unidentifiable due to weather, according to the Imperial Navy. But you start receiving Vox signals from each other as well as several other squadrons. So yeah, you guys can rendezvous back up if you wish.
Sure.
Do you notice your squads are short a little bit, or do you talk about it, or are you just on mission?
I would probably make a mention of that I lost Sergeant Nagelhorn and Corporal Bowman.
I lost.
Plague bearer, you know.
No, of course. Unfortunately, we had an incident ourselves. Unfortunately, Private Horcha
Holdchen.
lost.
Holdchen, wasn't it?
Hojar,
Hochar.
He saved his life earlier.
yeah.
Yes, unfortunately, the pursuit was dangerous, and in our attempts to bypass and trench placement, he unfortunately lost his footing. Emperor bless. We were able to, our desperate attempts to save him, though he tossed us his family rifle to return to his family. Brave man.
So you all are linking up.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Indeed.
One of the other squadron's Voxmen runs over to you and says,
What is it,
Officer?
soldier?
I'm getting signal. Commissar Olympia sent me to fetch you two.
Oh, what are we
It's
waiting
about
for? Let's go.
Commissar Leanwood. Leanwood, what's the word?
Go, 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 go!
So y'all move back down the slope a bit where there's a gathering of commissars and lieutenants. So you all move up. Everyone gathers around as the Vox crackles on, and this is Leanwood trying to connect with the 38th Line Corps. Who is receiving me?
Who's the highest ranked commissar or lieutenant here?
You're all pretty equal. You're all junior commissars. Any of you can answer.
I'll reach over and grab just out of reflex. Just
as I was about to. You
you both were, but I was today was my turn to be faster than you. You usually get faster than me. This is Commissar Bartlett, sir.
Bartlett! Good to hear from you, man.
We have detachments from my own Commissar Gordian. I just list off who's here. We're in position, sir.
Wonderful, wonderful. How intact are your forces?
Minimum losses on myself and Gordian. Still getting numbers. I turn to the others and look at them, trying to give up, down, what?
Yeah. They all pretty much relay. Yeah, mostly intact.
Yeah.
Excellent news. I'm sure you might have noticed the odd weather you're currently experiencing. We believe you've found a stronghold. I know it's hard for you to hear this, but you're the only forces that are there that can get to it. It must be destroyed. Do you understand, Commissar Bartlett?
Yes, sir.
At all costs, make haste.
Understood, sir.
If you succeed, I'll do the best I can to get extractions to you. But understand, without destroying that facility, there's no way down off that mountain now. You understand what I say?
Understood, sir. We will be setting up the spotter lights once we are finished with the task, sir.
Very good, man. The Emperor protect.
Emperor protect, sir.
That's the first time you've actually heard him say that to you.
Yep.
Right, sorcery. The weather is too bad for the Navy to support us. We don't have any way to transform the bombardment coordinates to the artillery down way down below, I suppose. Or do we?
Nope.
So the only method for destroying that from the inside, if it's a fortress, they'll have a power generator. We destroy that, cause a chain reaction.
Kill whatever sorcerer or psyker is behind this.
So the question becomes, do we attack for one target or go then for the other? It'll be heavily defended regardless. So are we going for, say, the sorcerer as you've listed it, or do we split apart and go for two objectives, to destroy the base and attempt to kill the sorcerer at the same time, or simply go for the sorcerer and then fight our way down?
If we intend to actually have an extraction, we should target the sorcerer because that might lead to us getting reinforced at some point.
Well, if
we attack the entire structure and try to blow it up. It might be possible, depending on what they have on stock. If they have weapons, munition dumps, anything like that, we might just blow the whole place up and probably us with it, but it's still, at least the sorcery will be stopped. The fact that they're trying to hinder anyone from getting close seems to indicate that something big is going on, and we probably want to move fast to stop that as well.
Agreed. Does anyone I pull out my stuff, turn to the other commissars. Does anyone have any other details about this fortress in the area? Know anything more specific? So rolling would that be cunning, investigation?
Investigation. No, investigation. Yep.
Who has the most relevant observations?
Yeah.
Yep.
Find out.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, with 5. Commissar Arsight steps forward and she says, my squad came up from the western slope. This is what we saw. She begins laying out what she sees of the site. Commissar Degerprande also, begins laying out what he saw coming in from the north. You came in from the south and east, as the several of the others. So yeah, basically what you've come together is you got a rough outline of the size of the facility and what appear to be multiple entry points.
Okay. So
could I scholar it up to figure out where the sorcerers might be located if they're trying
Absolutely. Yeah.
While he's doing that, let me see here.
Oh yeah! Glory!
Another glory.
Woohoo! Marking that.
3, 4,
That'll cap you guys out at 4. So yeah, you got
1, 2, 3, 4. Marking
best
that.
start spinning that shit now.
Yeah. So
yes.
while he go ahead.
From what you have come to understand, Buveki, from the last couple of months of combat in the mountain ranges, more than likely what they've done is they've built some type of a concave structure in order to amplify their manifestation of the Immaterium up and outward. That's why they're able to create basically, I mean, ostensibly they've created a magic force field, with this storm. I mean, it's not going to repel and save them from shit, but like nothing can see them, nothing can get to them. So ostensibly it's just as good. Like the Imperial Navy, like, I mean, sure, they could start shooting blindly down here, but like, what are they going to, will they know they ever hit anything? What will they know? Et cetera, et cetera. And if they get overhead, that'll expose the vessels to,
retaliation fire.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah. So yeah, if you could penetrate the complex, what you need to be able to do is descend into the central area, and undoubtedly that'll be where the rituals are being performed. At the convex of the concave, I guess.
So the question
I will
becomes,
inform the others with some confidence about this fact.
Right.
So then our biggest question will be, if it's going to be at the center of the complex, how many commissars were here aside from the two, us two?
You got about 7 of them. So
7. So we have
about 7 squadrons.
So we were originally maybe about 40. We've all probably got mind losses. So we're probably looking at maybe 300 guys. So
250 is probably a saver bet, but yeah.
250? Yeah, okay, that's fair. So
still
then
a decent amount of guardsmen, considering you're on top of a fucking mountain. Yeah. It's not a bad force, but they are. So, it's unfortunately just guardsmen.
So assuming that they don't have any major emplacements outside, right now looking at us, if we can get into breach the walls, we'll have a better fighting chance to survive. But we need to stop that sorcerer primary. So we can either all as one move, or have a primary force be going through breaching the walls to take out, capture, hold, depending on the level of corruption within the base itself, and it should be destroyed. Going for the munitions, going for the primary generators to detonate, and a secondary unit going for the sorcerer to deal with that. Drawing away forces from that ritual area is a large distraction. Primary objectives, of course, would be to locate and destroy munitions and generator, while the primary group would be going towards the sorcerer to end the sorcery there.
Yes, because oddly enough, I think the sorcerer is more irreplaceable than arms and ammunition.
I'd agree with that logic.
All right.
So So at that, just who wants to willingly go? As I say that, I'm lifting up my hand for taking and say, go for the sorcerer. Oh,
I do not think one squad can take out the sorcerer alone.
agreed.
I will join you.
All right. So, first off, need a
Diversionary attack.
We'll need an insight roll for you to set up your tactic, and then leadership roll to execute your tactic. So 2 rolls from each of you guys.
I can do leadership. Do you have insight?
I have insight yet.
All right, go for it.
We've also got glory, so
Do you have glory? And you can call glory after the roll, so you don't have to pre-spend that shit. So yeah, you can go ahead and. So yeah, Buveki, give me your roll first.
Oh.
Those ones, it's only me who get them.
Thankfully, though, it's a success, but there is something bad.
Yeah, that is still 7
4,
successes.
6,
so yeah,
7. Yeah.
your understanding of the layout of the complex and your positioning is top notch. You just missed something. Bartlett, spy the troopers.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Good. What do you tell them?
Okay. As we break off, the units themselves will break. Should we do this as one big unit, the 2 of us and our units? Okay. So
all the commissars line up behind you. Like, yeah, they kind of nudge you forward. You're the one with the bullshit fucking reputation.
Yeah.
Around you.
I turn to them and I say, the firstborn, Vestroyan guardsmen. Do any of you know what's before us? I wait for them to shake their heads and no, or no responses.
Yeah.
There's an enemy fortress ahead of us. It is armed, it is dangerous, and at this moment, unaware of us. Our commanders are unable to reinforce us at this time. We are our own reinforcements, and we are to conquer this base. We know what our enemies have resorted to. We know what they've turned to, and we know that this weather you see around us is being generated from here. This must stop. We are going to stop it. A detachment will proceed ahead to draw their fire and attempt to take the base itself. Judging from inside, if it is deemed unreclaimable, their objectives will be to destroy it. Ours, we are to end the phenomenons. We are to end traitors. I'm not telling you this to worry you or attempt to bring a false sense of security of some vainglory. I'm telling you your duty. What will happen? Surviving this, your families, your regiments, yourselves, you will have glory. This before you now is your duty. You will march there. You will take and end the lives of heretics and traitors gleefully, knowing that your duty is being done. Take a moment to realize those words I said there. I say gleefully. I do not mean take joy in it. Do not take passion in it. Take the solemn note that you are performing the Emperor's justice and bringing his wrath down upon the enemies of man. This is your day, the day you've carved the legend that is your name into the very bedrock of this planet. And make these sons of whores remember they failed to hold the firstborn back. Am I clear?
As one, the entire unit takes 1 step forward.
I'd say so, yes.
All right. Your assault begins like clockwork, despite the hellacious weather and You're not sure if it's just you, but it does seem to be getting colder and darker. But soon, burst of las fire and the chatter of a heavy bolter from Commissar Arside's squadron begins to patter off of the defensive slits of the fortress. It is answered back with auto gunfire and other low yield slug weaponry. So far so good. As your two squads begin their advance, while the others flank out to begin, their assaults as well to create the sense of vastly superior force with your multi-pronged attack. Something big lunges out of the darkness of the storm. Yep. Before your very eyes, Bartlett, one of the lead guardsmen, one of the Buveki scouts, as he named them, suddenly is hoisted into the air and then is split in half. And then from out of the darkness steps the Death Guard. His chain is still webbing.
So that's a resolve check, or is it conviction?
Why not both?
Traitor Astartes, yeah, no.
So
Well-
that is, yeah.
So conviction is
Convic-
3.
convic- I'll do resolve first.
Okay.
Barely makes it. Conviction.
Oh, that was only one success.
Well, I shaking my knees, but I'm still
Yep.
holding it together.
Yep.
You do have glory. We have 4, unless we want to save that.
Yeah, you might want to save that.
Okay,
Is there any
save it.
mechanical benefits to do more than succeed?
You are with fear. You're now taking your checks at a +2 difficulty. So that's basically what that does to you.
So I'd need more to not get the difficulty.
Exactly.
All right, so I will roll my conviction first.
Nope.
1, that's
Same.
fine. Makes sense.
Uh-huh.
And then
Remember your
resolve-
rank to add to your resolve.
hang on. It is?
Pay some respect. Commissars add plus rank to resolve tests.
Oh.
Yep.
I forgot that last time. So +1, so I need 1 more die then.
This is for your resolve, not conviction, though. So the
Oh,
next one.
resolve. So yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right. I did do that. So that's 3. So
So
okay.
the next one will be 4. Yep.
2.
One more. Like I said, this is your resolve. You get a +1 to that. So
Yeah,
think
no,
he's
my
not,
resolve
Oh,
is
your
2.
resolve's 2?
So
Oh, shit.
yeah, that's
He
why I was
is.
like,
He
All right.
is there for Spain.
+3 difficulty for you as well. All right. Well,
to be
there's a
fair,
there's
this
a Death Guard wielding a chain axe in amongst your lines. What are you going to do?
I'm going to order my autocannon crew to set up.
All right. That'll be leadership check.
Because that's pretty much the only thing that's going to scratch this guy.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with a
All right.
difficulty increase of 3. Should I be spending glory on this?
Nope. I'll say yeah. You got a what is that 6? Yeah, I'll say 6 is more than enough to get your people moving.
Autocannon! Target that enemy now!
Unfortunately, you also know the only way they're going to have time to set that up is if you start throwing more of your guardsmen into that thing to basically to use their bodies to to be ground upon the gears and the teeth of the chain axe in order to slow it down long enough to get the gun on.
Everyone else, cover the autocannon!
All right.
Before I make my roll,
Yes.
may I ask for a cunning roll to see if I, in our time there, thinking they might have something heavy in our way. Can we borrow a few melta-guns? I know.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Give me the check. You need 5 successes.
See, this will be something I'll ask if we can get some glory for close by. Let's see though.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
That would have been Wrath to say
That
that.
would be too. Is
You're
it worth
definitely
it?
wrong to say
Yeah,
that one.
yeah. You know what? I think it's gonna be worth it for a death guard at this point.
All right, 66.
Just give it a shot. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're one off.
Oh, we have glory. Lots
Nope.
of glory.
You had one success from the initial one. That's 5.
Oh, that.
That's
Oh
5.
yeah, it is.
That's 5. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh sweet.
You have melta guns.
Okay.
Now
Then...
you can give your leadership check to try and get your troopers in position.
Now he has to split his attention between the things that can hurt him. Good.
Yes.
Leadership. Here we go. Yeah.
Another glory. Well, yes.
It's a crit success though. If it all goes
Yeah,
through.
yeah, you guys are capped out, but yeah, that is a crit success. So yeah, again, your green little babies, your little sweet childrens that you took into that cornfield, they ain't kids anymore, man.
I know.
And
I know.
without even, there's no need for, ostentatious behavior or pretensions of, Cadian, bellowing or deathcore, savage, gleeful masochism. Nope, your Vostroyans just stand and fire with a pride that just is unknown even amongst the Astartes chapters throughout the galaxy.
It's just Death God? Ooh, come and get us.
Yes. And they do damage. But it's not enough as more Death Guard begin to roll out of the darkness towards you.
Ooh, it wasn't just one.
No,
it never is.
It wasn't just one. And slowly but surely, the favorite children of the Plague Father begin to carve their way through your forces.
Wait, oh no, he's not here. Typhus? No, he's not here. Thank God.
Funny.
If Typhus here, it's just like, well, fuck, we're dead.
They fall.
Well.
They do fall, though. Dozens of guardsmen die alongside them, but the traitor Astartes are being torn to pieces by your concentrated fire of your guardsmen, who show no fear.
As the Astartes are clearly falling and dying, the bellow is out. See how the traitors fall! Their greatest fall before you! Push!
Your men are advancing, but now you're hearing the thump, 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 thump of heavy bolter fire. It's no longer auto guns and sluggers. You now face the full wrath of it's not one, it's not a couple. The Plague Guard came for a purpose to this planet. They sent a company.
Oh God.
What were you gonna say, Bufeki? What are you doing?
Well, I was gonna until I see the company, I was gonna help the autogun target important hold points. Now I'm thinking it might be a good idea to get the Vox out and report this in.
All right. It's very unclear if your signal's going through in this in the storm in this chaotic storm that you find yourself now trapped within.
But it's gotten worse.
Oh yeah.
In that case,
nevertheless, you may send your message.
I may send a message.
Yeah, you can try. You don't know if it will get through, but
I don't have tech, so
yeah. So that's why I'm saying you could try. You could speak into it. If it's just your voice into the wind, or if it makes it back to command, who could say?
Well, in that case, I do try. Mm-hmm. Death God. It's not just a few; it's a company. Death Guard. Put it on repeat, and join the fight, Voxman.
All right. You guys can give me your preferred combat checks if you wish.
Yeah, I'll do ballistics.
You know what? F it. I got a legend building, and it's going to be stupid, and I'm fine with that.
All right.
I'm going in.
Well,
that's a crit.
Yes, it is. That'll be a wrath card for you.
4. If I hit at all, though, because
You do not hit at all, but you do get your Wrath card. So, vicious.
Should I
counter-
spend glory to hit?
I mean, I would get as much damage done as you
Yeah,
can, but
do
you
it.
guarantee damage right now.
Should I do 2 or 1?
You only need one success. It's a 5 to hit him. You're at 4.
Can I spend them one at a time, or do I
No,
have to
you gotta,
decide?
yeah, you gotta make a declaration how many you're taking. So
We've got 4. We have a
You got 4.
potentiality of at least a few more. So let's risk it to drop these guys. Yeah, 2.
Two.
Okay.
Oh,
Yes.
that'll make. So your Wrath card, you got vicious counter-strike. The fury of this blow causes horrific pain, disintegrating pieces the opponent's body in a scene of carnage and woe. Target suffers 1d3 mortal wounds. So why don't you give me a d3 roll there?
Those are things they can't recover from.
Correct.
sorry, I want.
Still
All
good
right.
though. It's
Mortal
mortal wound.
wound. That's a guaranteed damage you just did to the thing.
Yeah. So then I roll damage, which is. Did I get an extra ED?
You did not. You made your check. That's all you got out of that. So
okay. So
Yeah.
difficulty is that high. Whew.
it
Well,
is.
Right.
They're that tough.
Well, here's the thing, though, because of
That is a
your
success because of brutal.
nice. So, how much damage total will that be?
That will be 11.
Some piece of the. Did you shoot him or chop him with a chainsaw?
Shoot. Bolt.
Okay. The bolt round clipped something growing out of the appendage, causing it to howl, but the bolt round itself skates off of the power armor and sails off into the storm.
Well, that's bad.
Yep. The Astartes turns to you and with a simple swing of the chain axe, you find yourself laying upon the ground, strangely feeling very warm.
Ah, shit.
It steps over you
I-
and looks down at you.
Do I still have the bolt pistol in my hand?
You do.
All right, I'll aim for the same spot then.
All right. I like it. I like it. Go ahead, give me the roll.
Hey, that did something. Let me do it again. That's no, not enough. 3.
Nope. It bounces off of its armor, and you hear it's less of a growl, more of a sigh emanates out of the thing's mouth guard. Only human.
Afraid so.
Can I
And
make
then
it
black. Yes, you may.
Yeah, I was hoping I could go after its turn there, but you know.
Well,
I
you
know,
got
I
your
know,
own
technically.
deal. You got your
Yeah,
own
yeah.
to deal with.
That's fair. That's fair. All right, let's try here. Oh,
All right, a crit as well, and that will actually hit.
this is my chainsword, by the way.
All right. Headshot. A well-aimed shot tears ragged chunks of bone and brain from your opponent's skull. The foe reels from such a violent strike, covered in gore and unable to focus. Target suffers 1d3 wounds and is staggered. So, go ahead, give me your ED roll.
Let's see.
Go additional because you got a crit, so you got the Wrath card.
1d3.
Add 1d3 worth of wounds. Yes.
Okay, so this will be the D3 wounds.
Okay. 3 wounds. Nice.
And so then 1 ED for the damage because I didn't get enough to do 2. So one more D. D.
Well, it's brutal.
Brutal.
So that will be,
Yeah.
so we'll give you
It'll be
a
a
point.
4, so the next one. So that's 9, 10, so 13.
So yeah. A very similar result. Your chainsword bites into something, severing a tentacle appendage. Hard to say, honestly. It wiggles though, and a green noxious bile spews out from the hole where it is. But then the chainsword locks into the power armor as the Death Guard turns and glowers at you, before snatching you up by your throat and lifting you into the air. Yep, crushing the life out of you. I'll give you your
Meanwhile-
last action, just like I gave him, Bartlett.
Ah, there's only one thing to do. If he's got me, if my sword's stuck, it's hey, I still have my bolt pistol. Bang, bang, bang.
Okay, give me a shoot check.
All right, so ballistics is 7. That's why I went in for the chain.
I think can bolt pistol salvo?
No, I don't think so.
I couldn't remember if it did or not.
No, it's not a salvo weapon. It's a. I think it's listed as a pistol, so it can be fired in
Well,
close
it is,
range.
but salvo is just a firearm rating. Yeah, bolt
Okay.
pistol got a salvo rating of 1. So yeah, you
Oh,
can
okay,
salvo.
okay. Sure.
So
let's
that's
do it.
an extra dice. That's an extra dice.
All right, so that makes it 8 then.
Yep.
Sweet. And still have 2 glory, so let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
All right.
Spend them.
That
The glory.
yeah, you can spend
Well-
the 2 glory if you wanted to. See if you
Yeah.
get a couple more successes, or even just another success would give you that 6 as ED.
Let's find out.
All
Good.
right. So you got an ED on top of the rest of it. So yeah, go ahead and roll 2 ED.
One extra, so that would be 11.
It pangs off with its visor, mildly cracking the eye port as it pulls you down to its fetid mouth and whispers to you, "Grandfather is a forgiving and loving father. All you have to do is accept."
As he whispers that to me, and I just say, "My emperor is not."
Snap. The fight goes
Poorly.
as one would expect it to go.
Oh yeah.
But as the Death Guard are finishing, begin to stack up their offerings to Grandfather Nurgle, an ear-splitting howl of pain, terror, and unreality rends the air. They spin around, and actual fear, if you could see their eyes, would be upon them as the entirety of the fortress begins to collapse in on itself, and the mountain with it that they stand upon, as they are dropped into what would seem like a bottomless pit, at least until they found the magmatic core of the planet. Sergeant Gretz, through all the fighting, managed to stumble her way deep into the fortress and managed to plant a melt-a-bomb as she laid firing with her own las rifle and Private Hochards gripped in each hand, keeping back the chaos spawnlings that tore and ripped at her, attempting to get to the bomb before it detonated and slammed the portal shut.
Yep. We're hosting! Blow it! Blow it!
So that was in the discharge of duty. Questions, comments, suggestions?
Perfect.
No, that was pretty good.
Yeah, that was
Final
great.
battle and all. What would have happened if I hadn't flubbed that insight?
You would have seen basically you would have known. You would have caught sight of
Or I would just realize that.
Yeah, you would
Nah,
have seen the drop pod.
They're not going to be on their own on this. This is something bigger.
Yeah. No, if you guys had made successes and actually killed your Space Marines, like I had like a good ending, but
How?
Inherently pretty much
How?
all the endings came this way.
Yeah, no, if
You guys would have gone inside.
yeah. So the way we could have won that
how
is
would we have killed our Space Marines?
well, that would have been easy in
Without
hindsight.
your fear checks, you guys would have crushed your attack rolls on him and gotten more extra damage dice. So that's where the bonuses come in Wrath and Glory as a system. Is
Yeah.
you want to get lots of dice so you can attempt to get lots of 6s to push past and add extra damage dice.
Yeah, but if
Mhm.
13 wasn't doing much.
No,
Well,
it
that's the
wasn't. It wasn't. But yeah.
Here's the thing we could have done too is as we were talking about our forces dying around us, we could have attempted to do cunning checks to dig up the melta-guns ourselves and use those. Those would have been perfect for dealing with enemy Astartes.
And I would have allowed it. I'd allowed that
Yeah.
check if you guys had asked.
But Yep, but it would have been one of those cinematic things if we had done enough. I'm assuming you're using I would assume it was the NPC Chaos Marines, or is there specific stuff for Plague Marines now?
No. It was. I basically just swapped out the power sword for chain swords for them.
No,
Otherwise, their stats are all the same.
I mean, we also
Yeah, that's
wasted
fair.
our wrath early on, so that's also our fault.
It's true, but nevertheless, overall, mechanically, you guys did pretty damn great, especially considering how rocky a lot of your early rolls were. So ostensibly, you had 3 challenges, three vignettes you went into, and depending on the amount of, and so I was tallying your success versus failed rolls to qualify if you succeeded or failed the challenge presented to
Man,
you.
I pulled down. I pulled way down.
But both of you, despite again some really poorly timed wrath ones on your wrath dice for you, Scribby. Yeah, no, both of you actually succeeded both checks. So when you got to the third one, the execution challenge, your guardsmen basically accepted your judgment. They accepted your leadership at that point. Now, if you had failed one of your challenges and succeeded the other one, the guardsmen would have argued their case for you. So
Let's
you would
turn
have
back down. This is pointless.
yeah, well, I mean, yeah, or at least cut him a break. So, but they would have submitted to your judgment. But you would have lost like their respect, their loyalty as far as like for your order rolls. And then, if you failed both of them, they'd have turned on you. You'd have had a mutiny, and you guys would have had to dealt with that as your final challenge instead of, which would have been either you fighting off your guardsmen or you running up, you be stuck on that mountaintop by yourself.
I'd also like to point out that we still technically succeeded. The fortress fell. Our lives were the cost for success, which is the greatest thing a guardsman could ever want.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you guys both did a fantastic job of engaging with your guardsmen. Even though they're NPCs, you didn't really have players to be able to fill in to like give them that personality. You guys still did a good job of it. So at the end of the day, a big part of my inspiration for this was one, the way people like to kind of grouse about the different segments of Warhammer, which is arguably Warhammer is a satire purposely designed to just be awful. But like, I kind of wanted to see how player characters would react being in the commissar shoes instead of on the other foot, being the guardsman having to deal with the commissar lording over them. But also there's a poem or kind of a monologue, maybe from a video game, I'm not 100% sure where it comes from, about the guardsman, like from a commissar to a heretical Astartes who's about to murder him. Basically like laying out that like, yeah, you call me only human, but like, basically we come to fight you with, wearing plastic for armor and carrying the poorest quality weapons, not knowing anything but the fact we'll probably die. The guardsman, has stood against you for 10,000 years with nothing. So what's your excuse? What's your excuse, monster?
That's actually not a commissar. That's a Primaris Marine talking to the Chaos guy. Okay. It's called hold the line. It opens with the Chaos guard, the Chaos Marine belittling the dying guardsman around him as one's trying to do something, but as he's about to squeeze, saying, "You've got nothing. You are nothing." In comes the Primaris Marine, who basically now belittles the Chaos Guardsman by saying, the Chaos Marine by saying, "You have had 10,000 years to break them, to break Cadia, and you failed. You call them failures, but you who are superior to them in every single way can't get through a baker, a blacksmith, a shoemeister wearing the crappiest armor with the crappiest weapons, and yet they held the line against you. What's your excuse for failing?"
Yep, that's the one.
Yep.
I had it quoted from a commissar, so that's interesting. I guess people just grab it and use it for their own memes, but
yeah.
It's a video online that was done by the artist Stringstorm. He took that quote and someone put it to, I'll see if I can find the video for you, but it's this great piece. I would laugh if it is actually from a guardsman or from a commissar, then Heck yeah. I would be glad to be wrong, because that makes the most sense. It's like, we've basically been slaughtering by you for 10,000 years. You've been alive that whole time. Why haven't you gotten through us?
Yeah, why haven't you won?
Yeah, it's the biggest insult that a dying man can have against a superior being. It's like, you couldn't crack us, you couldn't break us, and you're calling me weak?
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah. But yeah, so thank you guys for that, for making the game very successful in that way, because I genuinely do appreciate it, because it could have been easy for you guys just to be running around wanting to, shout orders and then chop stuff with chainswords and bolt pistols, but you guys really got into it, and I really appreciate that.
Oh, no, that was kind of the point we were here to.
Yeah.
With the guardsmen around.
But
As
yeah,
Commissar.
and segueing off of that, as usual, I want to take a moment to thank you guys for your support of RPPR. We very much always appreciate all of you guys, and helping Ross keep the lights on and keep all this stuff going. You guys are great, and love running these games for you guys. Love that some of you guys showed up. I was really worried, especially since I had a week and a half for people to volunteer, and people were coming. So I'm glad you guys were at least able to make it so we could do this game. But yeah, so with that being said, until next time, bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.